The new Acorn inside of Roblox Grow Garden will make you rich. This thing is actually better than a lot of the fruits in the game, and it is one of the best fall fruits that they actually released out of all of the fall updates they've done so far inside of Roblox Grow Garden. I grew a huge Acorn and also grew an insane amount of mutations on it to get one of the most expensive Acorns inside of Roblox Grow Garden. So make sure to watch until the end of this video to see how expensive this thing actually is and to see how much money it will make me with all of these mutations. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into this. Let's go ahead and place this Acorn here. Let's go ahead and get some sugar apple trees planted. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we already have some sugar apple trees over there. And we also did AFK the other night, so we did get Dawnbound, and we did get Sizzled and Tempestuous, and a couple of our mutations done, which means we won't have to use certain pets, and we do have Dawnbound, and we don't have to use our pterodactyls, and yeah, so we also don't have to use our jackalopes as well because we have ceramic. So that should help and speed us up a little bit today. So there we go. We have those sugar apples growing, but right before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my mandrakes here. We're gonna go ahead and place a quick advanced sprinkler, and we're gonna place some mandrake seeds. Now it looks like the pets might still be bugged with how they look, but I'm hoping, I don't know why they haven't fixed that yet, honestly, but I'm really hoping that the apple gazelle works because that was a big bug. I did report that to Brighter, and apparently they said they're working on it, so hopefully that's in. But we're gonna go ahead and, okay, these guys are already boosted, so we should be fine. Let's go ahead and pick these up and try to get the rot mutation done real quick. Give me some rot. Give me some rot. There we go. It's spread to a sugar apple over there, which is probably the only one right there that is grown. So there we go. Rot is done. We're also going to need to buy some more advanced sprinklers. Yeah, I'm literally out of like every sprinkler. I'm going to go ahead and gift myself some on my main account real quick. Also, I'm going to need to gift myself some more toys because let me see how many I'm at. I'm at literally no toys either. So let me go ahead and gift myself some stuff real quick. All right, so that's done. We can go ahead and pick up these mandrakes here, and let's go ahead and get our apple gazelle out. And with that, I'm going to hope that this actually works now. I'm going to bring my main account over here to hit the grow all button so we get all those sugar apples to grow in, and our Acorn will grow in, and then we can actually get that big in a second with our sprinklers. What the heck is happening, bro? Why is my apple gazelle going to heaven, bro? All right, hopefully you work. You should work, right? You're gonna give me the that nice warp mutation, right? All right, we can pick these up. Bro, I just picked up the rot sugar apple. I thought it was gonna be okay. Well, I'll get a new one in a second. Hold on. Okay, it works. We got a warped sugar apple, but now I literally need to do the mandrakes again, but that's not really not a big deal. Let me go and pick up these sugar apples real quick. All right, Apple Gazelle, thank you for actually working today. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up, buddy, and let's go ahead and get these mandrakes back in here because I'm stupid and dumb, and we all know this. We all know this. No, I don't want you, the one that screams. You're nasty. Let's go ahead and place these back down. Give me rot again, please. I made a mistake. Okay, there we go. Back to a sugar apple. We're good. Pretty easy, and let's not touch whatever sugar apple that's on or the warped one over there. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and actually get started now. Let's go and pick up all these guys, and we're going to go ahead and clear these acorns off the acorn tree because those are puny and nasty. And let's go ahead and get our mooncats in here real quick and our triceratops to speed up some growth, and then we'll go ahead and get our sprinklers down. So let's go ahead and put down a Grandmaster sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic. And there we go. That should hopefully give us some big acorns along with our mooncats. We're gonna go ahead and move this around to our mooncats. I don't know what's going on with the pets, by the way. This is terrifying. That doesn't look like the mooncat, bro. That's literally a blob with eyes, and it looks scary, and I'm terrified right now. All right, we got some of them sleeping. We got a pile of like 3 right here. Although I'm not gonna be able to. Oh wait, this one will be better over here. All right, let me drop this. I can't drop it in there. I'm gonna have to do over here. There's too many sugar apples. Throw that right back in the sprinklers, and we're gonna get this acorn to be big. It looks like we already got a big one growing in right here. Also, I'm excited because we do have this new chinchilla pet right here, and we have 3 of them, which this guy can actually apply one of your pet's abilities 3 times over. Now, I think the cooldown is like 20 minutes or something, but this is nice for when we AFK, especially the Spinos, because then we can get these Spinos to pretty much get everything moved over really quick, because this guy will mimic the Spino and do it like 3 times. Or I think he boosts your pets to do their ability 3 times or something like that. Either way, though, like a Spino doing that 3 times, that'll be like the max Spinos will move 7 mutations over those 3 times. So we can literally get the Spinos to move everything over within probably 30 minutes now. That's going to save so much time. I'm excited about that. Also, for some of our pets that are a pain in the butt to get their mutations done, that's also going to help a lot with that. What I'm going to go ahead and do while I wait for a big acorn to grow in, I'm going to go ahead and head back over here on this guy in my main account and gift myself some more medium toys because we need a lot of toys in these videos. So I think we are good on the toys. I went ahead and gift myself a bunch of them. The acorns seem to be decent size. Like we have this pretty big one here, this one. I don't know how big those are actually going to turn out. So I don't know if I want to risk actually actually hitting grow all yet. I'd like if our Triceratops would hit this so we can actually see some growth on this tree. I do have an Echo Frog we could try to use as well to help instead of this guy, but the Echo Frog takes a little bit longer, but he also will only target like one plant at a time, and it usually is like a sugar apple. So, I mean, I guess I could still try it, but yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna hit grow all. Let's see what we get, because sometimes it still grows in some really big ones, so let's just go for it and see what we get here. Oh! That's a pretty big acorn, and the good thing is, it looks like our big one here actually already got rainbow. It's the biggest one. Is that the biggest one, or is this stem right here? This stem right here, I think, is bigger. I can't really tell because there's so many. Or is this the same? Hello? I don't even know. All right, I think these are the two biggest. Let's go ahead and pick up the... Wait, this one's rainbow too. So this one's rainbow and wet, and then if I favorite this one and then unfavorite this one, that one's just regular, but this is our biggest one. Obviously you can see it's like in the ground, and the stud count is insane on it. So we do have two rainbow ones, which is really good. I think what I can do is use the sugar glider today to actually duplicate that, and we can wait for the sugar glider with the chinchillas to just duplicate rainbow to a bunch of fruits, and I think we'll be good. So I think I'll pick up this first rainbow one here, and then I'll keep these two favorited, but we're going to focus on the mutations on this one, and then we're going to get a sugar glider to eventually just try and copy the mutations on this and move it over here. We'll do that probably at the very end, or maybe we should do it now. Do I have the sugar gliders on this account already? I think I do. I think they're on my main account. I might have to move them over. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I have one. Can I trade this? Do I have inventory space? The problem I'm having is that Acorn is so big that it's just taking up the whole map, and I can't give this to myself. Bro, even over here, the Acorn still reaches. I can't do anything. I can still collect it from back here on my main account. This is actually insane. Well, because I can't even trade that to myself. That's a problem. I mean, I guess I can switch the save slot real quick. Bro, it's that big. It's actually probably the biggest Acorn I've ever seen in my, like, this is gonna be the biggest one ever made. That's crazy. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and pick up all these pets here real quick. I need to actually switch save slots because I have so many. I mean, this acorn is so big that I can't do anything. So let me just load this empty plot real quick so I can actually gift myself. All right, for some reason it worked through that, but I couldn't gift it because of the max. I don't know. That's really weird, but there we go. We should have a sugar glider in here now. There he is. All right, so what is the time on this guy? 3 mutated fruits, copies 1 mutation from each fruit and applies it to the next fruit, ignores favorited fruit. All right, it copies 1 mutation. So people were saying my other video where I didn't have rainbow that he'll copy rainbow. So let me just do some research real quick and make sure that's right before I do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get rainbow. So give me 1 second here. All right, never mind. I literally just wasted my time doing that. I kind of figured I might have been, but a lot of people are saying, oh, Bandites, just use the sugar glider. You can copy rainbow. But you know what? That's not true. Huh? That's not true, guys. I just read the wiki. It's not true. You can't use anything to move rainbow over. So we're gonna have to just start by getting a rainbow done. So just give me a second here. All right, there's my big old acorn. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to pick up this one that's rainbow. But look at this thing, bro. Like, this is gonna be so much money already, but it has no mutations on it. So let's go ahead and get started with getting some, since we kind of wasted some time there. So let's go ahead and put pollinated on this. We have a bunch of cloud touch sprays on that account. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. Throw chocolate on it. We'll go ahead and get our honey glaze sprinkler here. All right, so that makes for, that's only 4 mutations. That's crazy. All right, let me use my other account then for another spray. I'll go ahead and just throw a windstruck on there. We now have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow, which is perfect. So, and then everything over here that has more mutations is favorited. Also, my kitsune is already coming over here to apply chakra to something. So there we go. We have chakra on a sugar apple, which will get moved over with some spinos. So anyways, acorn's good. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our butterfly now, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to assist the butterfly to cool it down and then convert all that to rainbow. And then we're gonna start working on some other mutations in the meantime. So I'm gonna move my main account over there, and let's go ahead and do some stuff here. So I have a couple shocked fruits, but they're all favorited in there, so that's good. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is grow a couple of carrots, and we're gonna get some of the guaranteed pets done. So let's go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion. There we go. Let's go ahead and spawn in our pterodactyl. We'll spawn in our corrupt kitsune to get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. We'll spawn in our swan. I want to real quick get our raiju static done, so we'll go ahead and spawn in the raiju, and real quick we'll apply the shock spray to a carrot. Actually, did I run out of shock sprays? Hold on. No way, I ran out of shock sprays, bro. Before the raiju then, unfortunately, we have to swap it up a little bit. So I'm gonna actually pick up the raiju because you can't buy the shock sprays anymore. So we're gonna have to use a firefly, which is a little different, but you can't buy the sprays, and I ran out. So I'm gonna use this giant firefly that I have, and in 3 minutes here, this guy should help us get the shock mutation. mutation, we can actually go ahead and boost him with the toy. It's a 20% chance, but that's good enough, and it's pretty quick. So we'll wait to get shocked on something and have the Raiju eat that, and then I guess we can go ahead and spawn in. What should we do next, actually? Because we have still a lot of pets to do, huh? We don't need to do the jackalope. I guess I'll go ahead and do the golden goose. We already have Sandy and ceramic from AFKing, so golden goose it is to get fortune done. And then once these guys are done, we can go ahead and spawn in the cockatrice, phoenix, and just move through all those. All right, so even with a boosted firefly, this guy still didn't give us shock, bro. He has 24% chance, but hopefully we'll get shocked twice from him soon. But anyways, our swan's gonna go ahead and give us graceful now. So we got graceful on a carrot, we got brain rot on a sugar apple, so the swan is good, and also the lemon lion is good, so those guys can get out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this carrot over here into this pile of giant sugar apples that I can't see somewhere in here. I guess I'll just put it down, bro. Why can't I place it? All right, hold on a minute. Just move some of these big old sugar apples out of the way. There we go. Thank you. He's in the pile. So those two pets are done. Pterodactyl is almost done, but I need to reboost him because the boost system is booty. I also need to reboost my firefly. But anyways, in the meantime, we're going to spawn in our phoenix here and our cockatrice to get toxic and flaming from the phoenix to get those guys out of the way. So yeah, we have a couple more minutes to wait for all these guys, but pterodactyl should be next. So I'm going to go ahead and get my hot bar here ready for some more of the guaranteed pets. And then in the meantime, our queen bee still has about 12 minutes, but I'll boost the queen bee once it gets a little bit lower so it can cool down our butterfly, since the butterfly still has the longest cooldown. We also need to get our peach wasp in here, but I'm going to do that later after this is rainbow, because otherwise the queen bee will just cool down the peach wasp instantly, and that'll be no good for us, because then, I mean, it will be, you know, we'll get plasma done, but then we'll have to wait even longer for the butterfly. But you know, I'm gonna go and boost this firefly. Hopefully can we get shocked, at least one shock this time, please. Okay, perfect. We got shocked on a sugar apple, which means we can go ahead and get our Raichu back in here. Yeah, it's back there. All right, but I still gotta wait a minute anyways, because we need one of our other pets to get done with their cooldowns. Oh wait, no, we don't need to get shocked again, bro. I keep thinking we need to get shocked again. I already have it on a carrot from AFKing over there in the stack. So the firefly's actually done, and we can go ahead and get our Raichu in here to eat that shocked sugar apple over there, and then that will apply static to the other sugar apples or something. Something will get static on it, okay? I also don't know if this chipmunk update added any new mutations. I didn't really see anything new. All the pets don't really do anything new for mutations. There's only the one pet that makes your other pets work harder. Sorry, I'm yawning. So eepy. Just so eepy. Stop. But yeah, I didn't really see any new mutations, but I will double check while I'm like doing the AFK stuff, so I don't miss anything. Oh yeah, I can boost this golden goose now. Thanks, buddy. 3 minutes left for that guy. Raichu will need to get boosted. Anyone else? Oh, I can reboost the pterodactyl, get him done. Can we get tempestuous, please? Ah, thank you. We got a tempestuous carrot. I will go ahead and put this over here. Even if we didn't get tempestuous, I guess we did have twisted over here on some carrots from that tornado. So we could have just mixed it with windstruck. I think we have windstruck somewhere as well. But what am I doing, bro? I am stupid, I believe, because I think I already had tempestuous this whole time in the pile. I think I had tempestuous in the pile. I don't know why. Bro, I don't know why. I don't know why I do this to myself, dude. Also, I don't know if this acorn is going to be bigger. This looks pretty big here. I will take a look and see if that gets any bigger. But I don't know why I do that to myself, because I'm stupid. That's why. But I didn't need to have my pterodactyl out. I literally said that earlier, and I still brought my pterodactyl out. I'm not thinking. I'm tired. Okay, this is why I took like a week break, because my brain doesn't work, and it still doesn't work. All right. I'm sorry. I'm old and tired and stupid. I did not need to use my pterodactyl, but it was good seeing him out and doing stuff anyways. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in this rainbow Mizuchi now to get the Azure mutation. Since he has a pretty quick cooldown, we can get that done pretty fast, I'm sure. All right, cool. And then I think we can actually boost our queen bee. Bro, why did I click that? But I'm telling you guys, this is literally why I took a break. I'm so tired in my brain. I can't function correctly. I'm so stupid. I just picked up the queen bee. I was trying to click boost. Why I'm like, here, this is my brain right now. My brain says, oh, the red button, not the green one, the red one. I'm stupid. You know, I don't even care, bro. Queen bee's out of the way. Butterfly, we'll boost him. We'll just boost it. We're getting all the other mutations done at least. It's not a big deal. We have an extra slot now since I'm stupid and dumb. So we might as well go ahead and throw that peach wasp in there to get plasma done. Hopefully my editor will make me look like a pro player today, because I definitely don't look like one. I look like an old man. Oh, I didn't even know my Phoenix was going, but hey, look at that. We just got flaming on a bunch of stuff, and my golden egg is here from Golden Goose. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Golden Goose. Thank you, and thank you, Phoenix, for the flaming mutation. Real quick, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again. I'm gonna see if that new Acorn that's growing in is any bigger than the one I already have, because it looks like it's gonna be a pretty big one. So, okay, no, that's nowhere near as big. I was kind of thinking maybe it was worth a shot just before I did anything else. But no, this guy's kind of weak. Not gonna lie, he is kind of weak. I didn't have to pick him up. He had honey glaze. Could have just had that moved over, but now I gotta use another sprinkler because you know what? I'm dumb. Anyways, we got toxic on 2 sugar apples and a carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up the carrot since it's on the sugar apples. We have honey glaze over there, so that's good. And let's go and pick up that cockatrice. Let's boost the Raiju to get that done out of the way so we get static, and boost the corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my first kappa here. Actually, I'll spawn in 2 kappas so we can try to get bloodlet done fast. We have a bunch of wet stuff already. That's good. We do have 1 extra spot, so I'll go ahead and throw the Spriggan in as well. What's going on in our cooldowns here? Let's boost the Mizuchi again. Please give us the Azor mutation. Get that out of the way for us, please. Failed? Okay, or don't. All right, but the Raiju, he's got a plan. He's the man with the plan. He's gonna go over there and eat that sugar apple up there that's shocked. There we go. He's applying static, and we got it on some more sugar apples and some carrots. I'll go and pick up the carrots since it's on the apples. And there we go. Static is done, so we can get Maelstrom or Storm Charge now from that. I will go ahead and pick him up. We also have to get our grizzly bears done, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn one of these guys in, and I'll spawn another one just so we can get fall out of the way once our corrupt kitsune's done. And then we'll focus on disco bees and chicken zombies for that. All right, corrupt chakra or foxfire. Let's see. Any? Okay, we got it on a carrot. We got it on literally 1 carrot. That was weak. You were weak today, man. I'm weak too. I can't think of anything. I'm like a grandpa right now. All right, can I please? There we go. Put that right there. We're good. Let's go ahead and pick up this corrupt kitsune, get him out of the way. We have an extra slot, throw in another grizzly bear in the mix. And then I think after that, all we need to do is our disco bees and our chicken zombies. Oh, I forgot about the badger, bro. We got to get crack done too. All right, hopefully Mizuchi is done here, and then butterfly will give us rainbow so we can get our badger in the mix. And I guess we can get a gnome in there too. And failed with the Mizuchi, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, butterfly, please tell me I didn't forget to favorite something. All right, good. He's going right for this, the acorn. And now our acorn, look at how big that thing is, by the way. That thing is officially rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up the butterfly. We can go ahead and favorite this acorn so we don't touch it. And we're good. So now we have to carefully unfavorite these. So our spinels will be ready for them shortly. And we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get some sprays reapplied to that. We don't need to do honey glaze, but we can go ahead and get pollinated reapplied to that and chocolate. We can save the honey glaze. And then, bro, are you good? Why are you yelling at me? Oh, that reminds me. I should probably boost my other one. Fall mutation, please. Please. Failed. All right, cool. That's awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna apply the. Bro, they applied wet again. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But we did just get blood fruit on something, so I'll check that out. But anyways, let me see. So luminous is applied. We're good with that. Let's go ahead and apply glimmering. Let's go ahead and apply Cloud Touch, and I think that's literally all I have left on my main account. We'll get Verdant and all that done from my pets. So there we go. We at least have 6 mutations applied. We'll get everything else moved over shortly. But we did get a Bloodlit carrot, it looks like right here. So we can go ahead and pick this up and move it over here into the mix. Kappas are done. They have Bloodlit done. We can get those guys out of the way, spawn in a gnome, and then we can spawn in our first 2 disco bees to try to get disco out of the way. And then after that, we'll go for the zombified mutation. Then we'll be good for AFKing. Oh, we just got fall applied to a carrot. I was looking at my other stuff. All right, so here's this wet fall carrot. Thank you, grizzly bears, for your service. All right, so fall is done. We go ahead and pick up these grizzlies now. We have 2 extra slots. Let's go ahead and throw another disco bee in here and throw in the gnome again. I want to try to get gnome done if we can early. So we have a pretty good setup here. Sorry, I just like slammed my microphone. But we have a pretty good setup here. Actually, you know what? Before I start picking up all these carrots, I'm gonna wait to get a cracked one because that way this is gonna get spammed all over the place. So get all the extra cracked and wet mutations moved out of the way. Bro, this Mizuchi just keeps failing. Is he okay? Everything okay at home? All right, so our Peach Wasp is about to give us Plasma. Our Spriggan should most likely give us Bloom. Like, we usually don't miss it with this many carrots. And then our Disco Bees maybe will give us Disco, and our Gnome will give us Gnome. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. So Peach Wasp is definitely going to go give us Plasma on something. We'll figure out what it is in a second. Sugar apples, that's over there. We got bloom on 3 fruits here. We got azure finally on a sugar apple, so we can go ahead and pick up our Mizuchi, peach wasp, and our spriggan, and then let's see if we get disco done. I'll go ahead and move this bloom carrot over here. I don't really know what else got bloom on it. It might have been a sugar apple or something, but all right. And gnomed failed with trying to apply gnomed, which is kind of expected. It's kind of expected. It happens. Okay. All right, let's see. Are we gonna get disco? Failed. What about the other guys? Come on, one of you please. One of you please just be nice to me. Failed. Okay. Besides begging them, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 chicken zombies, and let's actually spawn in a chinchilla to help with trying to get one of these mutations done. The chinchilla's cooldown is, oh, never mind. He has a 40-minute cooldown, bro. I thought this guy has a less of a cooldown. You know what? That's probably not really worth it until we AFK with those pets, because these guys have a decent chance. So I think we're better off using a queen bee and some mimic octopuses and all that for this set. But chinchilla will be nice for later. It's a pretty long cooldown though, but for AFKing, that'll be nice. So for now, we still have 4 disco bees. I'll go ahead and throw in a 3rd chicken zombie then, so we can try to get zombified done. And I'll swap those out shortly if we get disco. All right, well, you failed too. That is not nice, actually. That is very, very, very mean to me, okay? Hurt my feelings, broke my heart, ripped it out of my chest. Well, I really have to go to the little boy's room and, I have to poop. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna go do that real quick, and I'm gonna wait for these pets to do some stuff while I AFK real quick, and then hopefully we'll get these done, and I'll come back to those mutations being done, and if they're done, then we can get ready for our AFK setup completely. But for now, I'm gonna wait for these guys to finish, and this is like our it's like our pre-AFK setup. We already got the pre-AFK setup done, where we get all the other quick guaranteed pets, but this is like the pre-AFK setup, where we have to get the discos and the chicken zombies done, and the gnome. This is like the one part that's a little bit tough before the actual AFK, and that boost didn't work, so I'm very upset. All right, so I just got back and I actually boosted one of my disco bees, and right away we got disco applied to this carrot here. I don't know if we got any. Okay, well, it looks like we got gnome done. All right, so I was gonna say I don't know if we got anything else done when I was AFK. I was about to go back and check my AFK footage I took real quick, but yeah, looks like we got gnome. So let me go and throw this disco carrot in here if I can. Looks like that actually got disco on it too, so we have 2 discos, and if we have gnome done, let's go ahead then and pick up our disco bees, pick up our gnome. We have a couple chicken zombies spawned in. I'm gonna go ahead and try to max out these chicken zombies so we can get this done and get ready for our AFK setup. So there we go. Let's go ahead and also spawn in a queen bee and a mimic octopus just to help in case we don't get it for some reason, but I think we should be able to get it on one of our first tries here. But anyways, yeah, our pets are about to be all the pets that just apply stuff directly and not ones that need any like AoE to apply. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these extra carrots just so it makes it easier for my Spinos while I'm gone. So all of my pets can just focus on those carrots over there and the sugar apples. All right, there we go. That's a little bit more clean and we should be good. So let's go ahead and boost these chicken zombies and just see if we'll get zombified done. Okay, and just like that, our first chicken zombie actually applied, and our second chicken zombie actually applied zombified to 2 sugar apples. So we are good. But that means we're ready to set up for our AFK setup now and get the rest of our mutations done. So let's go ahead and do so. I'm going to spawn in 1 lobster for meteoric and molten, which can also give us blazing and infernal. Let's go ahead and spawn in, this is the one I always forget, but our griffin to get cyclonic so we get maelstrom and storm charge. And then we'll spawn in our tranquil scarlet for verdant and tranquil. We'll spawn in our corrupt charlotte for an extra chance for verdant and a chance to get the corrupt mutation. All right, and then we'll also spawn in our junk bot to help us get the oil mutation done. We'll spawn in our space squirrel to get void touch done. We need our spaghetti sloth because we have the aromatic shard on this guy to get aromatic, and then we have his 3 mutations to give us the spaghetti mutation. And I feel like we're missing a pet because we only have 7. Usually we do have enough room now to spawn in a Spino right away, but I feel like because there's been so many pets, we're missing one. Let me just go ahead and take a look in here real quick. Actually, you know what? I think we got everything else done. I think these are actually the last pets that we need, which is very surprising. But yeah, these are normally our AFK pets. However, I think we usually have another one. I think that's usually the Spriggan and the Gnome, but now we get those done earlier with the other pets. So I guess we're fine. And yeah, so if I remember, if we are missing one, I'll go ahead and bring that in later. Instead of a Spino to start moving stuff over, I'm actually going to spawn in a Chinchilla just to help these pets get some of their mutations done a little bit faster, so we can maybe get like Meteoric done faster, since that one takes forever, or Tranquil or Corrupt. I don't know if he'll do these. He might only want to focus on Verdant for those guys, but it might help us a little bit, or we can get Void Touch done faster. Some of the ones that take a little bit longer that have really low chances, that should help us. Although he does have a 40-minute cooldown, we usually have to AFK for a couple hours anyways, so that should be fine. So we're gonna go ahead, let these guys give us their mutations, and once we get a couple of the pets done out of the way, we'll start throwing in our Spino stacks in here, and we'll go ahead and and start actually getting everything moved over to our Acorn. So we got a couple of mutations done. We did get Molten done on something. I don't know exactly what, but Molten is done. We did get Cyclonic done as well. So we got rid of our Griffin for now. We also got done Void Touch, so the space squirrel is out of the way, and we also got done Tranquil. So we have a couple of mutations done. Once we get Meteoric done, we can throw the Lobster out of the way, but we still need Corrupt, and I think we need Pasta and Aromatic. We got Sauce and Meatball. We need Oil, and then that's pretty much it. So since we have some extra slots here, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in our first 3 Spinos to start moving everything over to our Acorn here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in our 2 Megas here, and I guess I'll throw in just a regular one. We have our first 3 Spinos in here, and the Chinchilla will be able to actually refresh these guys. And once these pets are done, I'm gonna spawn in 2 more Chinchillas and 2 more Spinos, and then we should have a good maxed out Spino setup to get everything moved over very quickly. And that'll be like triple the production with the Chinchillas, so we can get everything to this Acorn very fast. So we're gonna go ahead and let these Spinos do the rest of their work, let these pets do the rest of their work. Hopefully we can get the rest of these mutations done. Okay, well, Meteoric's gonna take a while, but hopefully we can get the rest of these done and get everything moved over to the Acorn soon. All right, so after a lot of hours in time, it's actually going on 5 a.m. and I really need to get some sleep. We do have our Acorn with all the mutations moved over to it. Now, the only one we didn't get from our pets was Aromatic. The Spaghetti Sloth was sitting there for hours on end, and for some reason, we just did not get Aromatic, and I gotta get this video done and get some sleep, so we're just gonna skip Aromatic for today. However, if we did get Aromatic, I believe it would have mixed with our Sizzled and our Spaghetti to give us the new Gourmet mutation, and I was trying to see if I actually got Gourmet, but I don't see it anywhere. So everything else, though, is on here. So if we actually count our mutations, we have 40 mutations total, and if we split some of these like Spaghetti, we'd have about 42 mutations. Abyssal would bring us to 43 mutations. Maelstrom would bring us to about, I want to say 45 mutations. Gloom 46, Sizzled 47, Infernal would be about, that would actually be about 50, Paradisal 51, Storm Charge would bring us to about 53, or actually I think 54, Harmonized Chakra 55, and yeah, so we have about 55 mutations on this. If we actually had, bro, if we actually, the game liked us, we had Aromatic, we'd have 56 mutations on this, and that would have been closer to 60, but I don't know why we literally could not get Aromatic. But this is a pretty good Acorn here. It has a lot of mutations. It's very expensive. At least I think it's going to be very expensive, but it is very big and has a lot of mutations. So we're going to go ahead and grab our magnifying glass here, and we're going to try to check the value of it, and then after that, we're going to try to get Amber on it with our Raptors. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check the first value of this without Amber, if we even get Amber, in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this Acorn is actually worth 2.9 trillion. It's right there on the mark to actually becoming 3 trillion. So if we're able to get Amber on this thing, we can get this thing into the 3 trillion mark easy. If we had Aromatic, this would have definitely been past 3 trillion, but I got to get some sleep, man. So let's go ahead and try to pick this up with our Raptors and see what we get. I'm going to go ahead and boost a couple of these guys as well that aren't boosted. All of them are boosted now. Let's go ahead and see if we get Amber. And there we go. We actually got Amber, so we're at 56 mutations. It would have been 57, but look at how big this Acorn is, dude. All right, so now we're going to check the value with Steven and see what that bumped up to. So now it is worth 3 trillion. So yeah, definitely would have been like 3.1, 3.2 trillion if we got Aromatic and got that Gourmet mutation. And also if we got like Harmonized Chakra, would have been even more. But this Acorn is actually crazy good, and it wasn't that difficult to get a gigantic one like we got here. Starting off this video, I hope it's our lucky day, because we are about to attempt to get every single mutation on the Bone Blossom. And we literally just had a blood lit event and a celestial meteor shower as I joined the server, which that doesn't seem to happen, either of those things, when we do these videos naturally. So hopefully that gives us some good luck today, because we still are waiting for Jandel to resume the content creator program to get some help from Brighter again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place down our sprinklers. We're gonna start like right here. So I'm going to do a master sprinkler. We'll do advanced, basic, and godly, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place our Bone Blossom down, our first Bone Blossom we've ever had. Let's go ahead and get those moon cats ready as well, so we can get this thing hopefully gigantic. All right, that's all 8 moon cats, and now our Bone Blossom should start growing any second. Now, someone actually mentioned this in the comments, and shout out to this person who told me this, but we have a Mimic Octopus, and actually if we use this, it should 100% use a pet's ability for us, which would be really good to get some of those pet mutations. I thought the Mimic Octopus octopus only mimicked a random pet in the game, so it could be anything, but it only mimics whatever pets you have. So this will definitely come in handy to get certain pet mutations done faster on our bone blossom today. All right, well, this thing is only at 1% so far, so we're gonna water it to get this thing to grow. Oh yeah, there we go. That's much faster. So let's get this thing up to 100. Let's watch it grow, and hopefully we can get some pretty big bone blossoms on it and get something valuable. I know they buffed this, so the bone blossom is actually worth a lot more now than the candy blossom because people were complaining about it not being that good. However, they did nerf, I believe, the size of the fruits, so the bone blossoms themselves can't be as big as they used to be able to be, but the price is better overall. All right, anyways, our bone blossom tree is grown, so now we just gotta wait for some bone blossoms, like the fruits, to grow in. I don't know how long they take to grow, and hopefully our mooncats will help them grow in faster. The other thing I really want to do is I want to buy friendship pots. Now, I guess they're only 39 Robux, so I could buy one for now. I don't know how many you really need, but this could give us the friend-bound mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just link this with my main account, and hopefully it just helps. Maybe give us friend-bound. I don't know how what's the luck, what we need for this to really work out, but there we go. We got our friend pot down. All right, and we have a pretty big bone blossom growing in right here. I don't know the sizes of these because, again, they nerfed the sizing of the bone blossom fruits. I guess we'll wait and see what other ones start to grow in so we can compare, and then we can make our choice on which one we want to go with. All right, so we actually have a pretty big bone blossom growing in right here. I thought this one was big, but this one is pretty massive, and then we got some smaller ones growing in, but this one I think will be the one we're going to go with to get every mutation on. So I'm gonna have my main account over here grow all so we can get all these fruits to spawn in, and also we do have a windy event, so that could be a free mutation to help us get rainbow, but I guess we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and purchase this and see what happens. I think I just got scammed. I had my main account hit grow all, but it didn't do anything. I guess I'll try it again. Okay, now it worked. Well, I just lost like 300 Robux, but okay, anyways, there we go. We have our bone blossom grown in here. We have a couple of them actually, but we have this very big one that we're going to go with. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite this one real quick, just so we don't touch it. And I'm gonna collect the other ones that are on the tree. And there we go. Now we have our big, beautiful bone blossom. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do with this is I am going to trowel it, and we're gonna spin it so it faces the middle so all of our pets can take effect to it. All right, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is unfavorite this, and we'll go ahead and pick up all these mooncats. They did a pretty good job giving us a nice gigantic bone blossom, and we're gonna go ahead and apply our sprays here. So we got some pollinated chocolate. We're gonna save our chilled, but we will put amber on it for today, and we'll do shocked, and then we'll do a honey sprinkler, and that will be our 5 mutations. There we go, our 5 mutations to get this thing rainbow. So let's go ahead and spawn in a queen bee, and then we'll spawn in our butterfly. The queen bee will save us nearly 10 minutes for the butterfly to give us the rainbow mutation. So once this queen bee cools down, butterfly will give us rainbow, and then we can get started with actually getting mutations on this. You guys probably know the drill by now with these videos. All right, it's time for the magic to happen. The queen bee is ready to cool down our butterfly so we can get our bone blossom rainbow. Let's see it happen. Go do your thing, butterfly. Get this thing to rainbow. All right, and just like that, our bone blossom is now rainbow, so we are good. And wow, it actually looks pretty cool rainbow. All right, so now's the fun part. We get to add all of our sprays. So we're gonna add pollinated back to it, shocked back to it. We got amber, we got chilled, we got chocolate, and then we also have a honey sprinkler we can use here. And then on my main account, I actually have a few cloud touched sprays left. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with cloud touched, and our main account is good to leave now. And there we go. We are up to 8 mutations on our bone blossom. So now we got to get all of our pets set up to get these pet mutations done, and also wait around for some events. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees, and those disco bees will help us get disco. We're gonna use 2 cooked owls so we can hopefully get cooked or burnt. We're gonna spawn in 1 sea turtle to get wet on this, so it'll turn from chilled to frozen. We're gonna spawn in a scarlet to hopefully get verdant, and then we're also going to spawn in 2 chicken zombies. Now, hopefully once the sea turtle applies wet and we get this thing to frozen, We can then swap the sea turtle out for a mimic octopus, and the mimic octopus should 100% give us a mutation from one of our other pets. Now, the only problem is we do have other bone blossoms growing, so the mimic octopus might 100%, but it might give us those mutations on one of these other bone blossoms that we don't want. All right, so for now, we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what the sea turtle does. Hopefully, it'll be quick and easy, and we can get wet on this bone blossom so it can be frozen, and then we can get that mimic octopus spawned in. All right, so while our sea turtle is failing, we do have a windy event. I don't know if we're going to be able to get windstruck right away. Every time I try to get windstruck, it always takes a few of these events to go by, but I am going to go ahead and stack some sprinklers to hopefully help. Let's see what happens. I don't know if we're going to get lucky. We never seem to get windstruck. It always takes like 3 windy events for us to get it. I don't know why it's like that every single time. All right, well, the windy event just ended, and we did not get windstruck. This is like an ongoing theme with me. We always need like 2 or 3 windy events to get it. I don't know if that's a common thing or if I'm just very unlucky. All right, well, our cooked owls are almost ready, our disco bees are almost ready, and our sea turtle is almost ready again. So we'll see if we get any of these mutations applied. Hopefully, we can at least get one of them. And oh my gosh, there's a bigger bone blossom growing in than the one we have. All right, well, here's the deal. This bone blossom right here is nearly double the size of the one we've already put all this on and did all this work to. But because it's going to be about double the value at that rate, I think it's worth it to pick up the one we've already made progress on and restart. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is skip ahead, and you guys will see this new bone blossom with all of these current mutations we have. We'll be back once this is caught up to where the other one was. All right, our big guy here is back in business, back to where we were. We have our 8 mutations applied back to our bone blossom, and we are ready to go. So now we can officially get this started again. So now we just gotta wait for these pet mutations to happen like we were doing, and hopefully we get some cool other events. And then hopefully these friendship pots actually start doing something as well. All right, there we go. Our sea turtle finally applied wet to our bone blossom, and we do have rain going on. So just in case, I did put some sprinklers down to see if that would help. We did not get rain to turn this into frozen, but our sea turtle finally applied wet. So this is now frozen. So we can go ahead and pick up our sea turtle. And now we're gonna use our mimic octopus because this should give us a 100% chance. And also that cooked owl just failed. This guy should give us a 100% chance of one of our other pets to apply one of their mutations to this bone blossom. Okay, I missed it by a second on the recording because I thought both of my chicken zombies failed, but actually one of them did just apply the zombified mutation to our bone blossom, which means we finally got one of these pet mutations done, so we can go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies. And I guess what we'll go ahead and do is place another cooked owl down since we're having some tough times getting the cooked owl to give us burnt or cooked. And we're also going to go ahead and place a queen bee down to help with some cooldowns. All right, let's see if we get disco or if we get verdant done and out of the way. Come on, disco bee. Let's do it. Get it. Failed. And it also was targeting the wrong one. All right, our other disco bee failed. That doesn't really give me any hope at all. But the scarlet might get us verdant. Failed. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna go cry now. Okay, well, in the middle of my tears, we just got a sandstorm, so I'm gonna quickly place some sprinklers down to hopefully up our mutation chances. All right, please, please, please give us Sandy. I'd love to have Sandy. If we can get Sandy, we could start working on trying to get this thing ceramic. I've been told that sprinklers are supposed to help with upping mutation chances for events and weather, but now it just feels like it doesn't. It feels like nothing changed. All right, well, if we don't get Sandy, maybe our mimic octopus will come in clutch and get us one of these guys. And that was it. That was it. Nothing happened. This is so sad. I just want mutation. All right, Mimic Octopus is doing something. What is he gonna mimic? Where did he even go? Hello? Mimic Octopus copied Queen Bee's ability. This is exactly what I feared it would do. Why did you do this? Why? I don't want pollinated. I want one of these guys to be mimicked, not the Queen Bee. All right, well, our pets continue to fail. We're having horrible luck today. I thought it might be a better day because I joined the game with Bloodlet and Celestial, but now I'm going to be leaving the game with tears and less mutations than I thought I would be. No, my gosh. You gotta be kidding me, dude. I just picked the bone blossom up. I picked it up? Bro, I did not mean to do that. I don't even know what to say. Well, I don't even know why I just did that. Oh, dude, my hand was on the D key and my keyboard's so sensitive. I slipped forward up one key and I accidentally just collected the Bone Blossom, and we didn't even have Verdant on it, or Disco, or Cooked or Burnt. I think we only had 9 mutations on it in total, which was like nothing. And I've already spent like 3 hours recording this. Okay, well, I believe this thing had, what, 9 to 10 mutations on it, which is a lot more than some people would get on it. But unfortunately, I really wanted to get at least up to 15 or 16. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Steven, and I guess we'll check the value of it now. So how much is this worth? Even after I messed up, this is still worth 317 billion for this giant Bone Blossom with only 9 mutations on it. This thing definitely, without any admin mutations, probably would have passed 1 trillion. All right, so the closest thing I could do to make this right is actually use this website here, which is a Grow a Garden calculator, where you can put in any plant that you want and also select any mutation that you want and put your weight of your plant in. That way I can try and show you guys what the value would be. So right now we were about here with 9 mutations on our Bone Blossom, which was about 317 billion, as you guys saw in the video. Now, if we actually waited around and got all of the possible legit mutations that we can get, which don't include the admin ones, we probably would have gotten Moonlit or Bloodlit. I guess since the start of the game we had Bloodlit, we could have gotten that, so I'm gonna go ahead and select Bloodlit. Now, we could have had Sandy, but if we actually waited around long enough, we could have gotten Sandy all the way up to Ceramic, so we're gonna go ahead and select that on here. And then if we got Twisted and Windstruck from those 2 events combining, we would have got this one, the Tempestuous. We also could have gotten Friendbound if we had enough friend pots to do so. We could have gotten Paradisal added onto this. We almost had our Disco Bees ready, so we would have gotten Disco, and we also would have gotten Burnt on this from our Cooked Owls. And if we actually were able to get a Drought event, we could have also gotten Wilt Proof on this. And an Aurora event, if that was also possible, and we got one of those to spawn in, we would have gotten that. Oh, and we could have also gotten Celestial, which we actually had a Celestial event going on at the beginning. So now that this has all of the mutations that we had on it, plus all of the possible legit mutations that you could get, which would have brought our total from 317 billion all the way to 1.4 trillion. Now, if we did have Brighter to help us with this video, like we have in the past with the other videos, then the Bone Blossom could have maxed out around 3 trillion shekels, which is a lot better than the Candy Blossom, because the Candy Blossom with every admin mutation on it was only at like 900 bill, and this is already... But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the Cocoa Mango right here, and we're also gonna go ahead and plant some Sugar Apples. We're gonna do what we did last video to make this a little bit easier to get some of the mutations out of the way. So I'm gonna plant 5 more Sugar Apple trees here, and then all we're gonna go ahead and do is go my main account, and we're gonna actually hit that Grow All button, so that way our Cocoa Mango will grow, but also our Sugar Apples, and you'll see why we're doing this. Hold on. All right, so we have some pretty newbie Cocoa Mangoes, but we're gonna get rid of these. We're gonna actually get a pretty good one in a second, but first, before we do that, we're going to use our Apple Gazelle, and we're going to use this guy to just get us the warp mutation done and out of the way. So we're going to pick up some Sugar Apples until we get warped. Oh, and actually we had a golden egg in our inventory, so we just got fortune on one of our Sugar Apples here. So I will make sure I favorite that real quick, so we won't actually have to use our golden goose. All right, we got warped on one of our Sugar Apples. It's this one over here that's actually not even spawned in, but warped is there. So once that regrows, we'll have it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this warped Sugar Apple over here. We're also going to move this fortune Sugar Apple over here. I'll move this one as well, since it already... We're going to get a lot of glimmerings, but I guess I can go ahead and move this one as well, since it already has glimmering on it, to our little buffet platter. So I'm going to pick up the rest of these Sugar Apples here, and we're good. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Apple Gazelle, and let's go ahead and pick up these Cocoa Mangoes, since these are too small for us, and we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Moon Cats here, and we're also going to get a Triceratops spawned in to help with some growth, and then let's go ahead and get our sprinklers on here. So we're going to put down a Grandmaster Sprinkler, we're going to put down a Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic, and then hopefully this will all help give us some pretty big Cocoa Mangoes here. And then we can go ahead and get started with getting all the mutations. So let's try to get our Moon Cats asleep in a good group here. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple going like right here. I'm gonna do right here because there's 2 of them. Okay, that's actually a pretty big Cocoa Mango there. So that's a good sign, but we got to get bigger than that. I think we can get way bigger than that with the Moon Cats sleeping on it. But I don't think that's gonna be big enough for us. We need bigger. Yeah, like that. That's looking a little bit bigger. So we're gonna delete this one. We're gonna keep doing this until we get a really, really big one. This one's a better size, but I think we can get even bigger than that. So let's just keep trying this until we get a big one, and then we can start getting some mutations put onto this thing. Okay, here's an even bigger cocoa mango growing. So we're just getting bigger and bigger as we go up. This one might be our winner, but we're going to try to get one more to grow in pretty big. I will put this on the mooncats one more time. We'll see what we get, but I'm going to keep deleting these smaller ones. But yeah, I think this cocoa mango might be our winner here. This thing is humongous. All right, can we get a good group of mooncats to sleep on it? Okay, there's like 3 of them. Come on, come on, come on. Pile up right here. Pile up right here. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Oh, they're all moving around. All right, these two are pretty close in size. However, this one is still bigger, I think. So I think we might have our winner here. This thing is just growing in real nicely. So, I'm stuck inside of it. I'm being crushed. Okay, this is a pretty big cocoa mango right here. I don't know which one's gonna be bigger. What the heck? All right, so I can't honestly tell which one's bigger. They're both very close in size. I would do a stud count, but it's kind of hard to tell because this one's all glimmering and magical. I almost want to say this one's bigger right here. They're either the same size or this one's slightly bigger. Oh wait, they have faces on them. Forgot. We can count the studs on the faces. Okay, yeah, this one has about like 5.5 almost studs on the face, and this one only has about 5. So this one's definitely bigger right here. So I think we have our winning cocoa mango. I'm gonna go and pick these ones up, and here we go. Here's our beautiful cocoa mango here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a chocolate spray on that. We're gonna do a windstruck spray, pollinated. We'll do a honey sprinkler, and then on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a cloud touch spray to that. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here that we're going to use to convert this thing to a rainbow cocoa mango. I keep saying cocoa melon, dude. That shows. Yeah, I just have the intro. Cocoa melon in my head. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and spawn in our queen bee to get the cooldown started with this guy. And we're going to spawn in our butterfly, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, convert all this to rainbow, and then we can get the show on the road and get a really nice cocoa mango and make some good cash, huh? Wait, is this one bigger? Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. All right, well, our cocoa mango is ready for rainbow conversion, so we're going to let that happen. And I believe, I mean, we already have a lot of glimmering plants over here, so Spinos will move that over. That's not going to be a problem right now. And we sugar apple, we have a warp sugar apple, so like all that's good as well. And then I think we might have a chakra one somewhere in there. If not, my main account will probably be moving that over here in a second. My main account will be having its kitsune come over here in a second and apply chakra either to our cocoa mango or one of our sugar apples, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, and real quick before we do AFK and wait for this thing to become rainbow, I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it just real quick, and I am going to spawn in my mandrakes here. We're going to get an advanced sprinkler, and I'm just going to watering can some mandrake seeds here to get some mandrakes and hopefully get us the rot mutation on one of our sugar apples so we can add that over to our cocoa mango once it's ready for that. Oh, okay, we had rot spread to one of our other mandrakes, which is interesting, but that works. We're gonna go ahead and add this over here to our little platter of food for our Spinos, and there we go. We have the rot mutation ready to go. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up these mandrakes now. We can unfavorite our cocoa mango, and now we can get ready to get rainbow and then get all the mutations applied. And I think while we're AFK, our kitsune is going to apply chakra to something, so we'll check on that once we get back. All right, real quick, our kitsune from my main account did just steal a sugar apple, so we do have chakra applied over there, and he's gonna go hand that off to my main account now. So thanks for stealing that and breaking my heart, but we do have chakra, so we can get that moved over in a little bit with our Spinos. All right, so I just boosted my queen bee, and it cooled down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to convert this to rainbow. All right, there we go. Our cocoa mango is now rainbow, so I go ahead and favorite this so I don't accidentally pick it up, and we are good to start getting some mutations on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some sprays. Let's go ahead and put pollinated back onto this, chocolate, wet, and I guess I'll save that glimmering since, you know, when the event ends, we'll need that more later. And then we can go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down on this to get honey glazed. Honey glazed will be back on that now, so we're up to 5 mutations. And then on my main account over here, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the verdant spray. We're going to put cloud touch onto that, and we will put shocked onto that. And now we are up to 8 mutations, and since I have my main account here with some shock sprays, I am going to actually go ahead and plant a couple carrot seeds real quick, and then bring my main account over here with the shock spray to put it on one of my carrots, so that way we have the shocked carrot ready to go, and we can go ahead and spawn in my Raiju to eat that, and then it will apply the static mutation around to hopefully my Cocoa Mango, but if not, one of these sugar apples or one of these other carrots, and we can get static out of the way. And then we're also going to get some of our guaranteed mutations done. So we're going to spawn in our Lemon Lion so we can get Brain Rot in about 5 minutes. We'll spawn in our Peach Wasp so we can get Plasma done in about 25 minutes. We'll spawn in a Phoenix so we can get Flaming done. We'll spawn in Cockatrice so we can get Toxic done. Or actually, we'll go ahead and spawn in our Corrupt Kitsune so we can get the Corrupt Chakra mutation done. And then we'll spawn in a Pterodactyl so we can get Tempestuous done. So that's a lot of pets that we have now that are pretty much our guaranteed mutations. Again, Static, Brain Rot, Plasma, Flaming, Toxic, Corrupt Chakra or Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, and Tempestuous. So that is a lot of pets there, but that will give us some of our guaranteed ones done. I would use the Golden Goose as well, but we already got Fortune from selling that one egg. Also, perfect timing. We do have a nighttime event, so we can get Moonlit on our Cocoa Mango or just one of our sugar apples or carrots, and we can easily get that moved over to this once we use our Spinos in a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead because I ran out of the Luminous Sprays. I have to go buy more or earn more over there. But since I don't have that right now, I'll also go ahead and spawn in this Luminous Sprite so we can get that guaranteed mutation done, since the portal will take a little bit of time to get through. And this will only take about 15 minutes, and that's another guaranteed mutation, I believe. Yeah, it's guaranteed, so that will fulfill all of our guaranteed mutations. We already have a ton of Glimmering stuff, so we don't really need to use our Glimmering Sprite right now, but we do need to use the Luminous Sprite since we don't have any sprays currently for that. But we have a pretty good setup here, so I'm going to be right back while these guys do their cooldowns, and we'll come back in just a minute, and we'll get some more mutations done and get our Cocoa Mango to be big boy. Okay, this is interesting. We got a heat wave during nighttime. I don't know if I've ever really seen this combo before, but with that, I don't know if I have any more tanning mirrors, so it's actually good that I'm here. So I can go ahead and make sure I get tanning mirrors placed down right here so we can get the sun-dried mutation, and then that will also allow us to get Paradisal in just a little bit. And with that, our giant bean lemon lion here is about to apply the Brain Rot mutation, so we go ahead and swap them out. And I forgot, I do need to do the Jackalopes before I do the Disco Bee, since the Jackalopes are pretty quick. We'll work on that. Well, let's go ahead and wait for this guy real quick to give us the Brain Rot mutation, and then we can probably boost our Raiju to shorten his cooldown. Let me see. Yeah, that'll shorten a couple minutes so we can get more Jackalopes done. But all right, let's go ahead and get, there we go. We just got sun-dried, so we'll get Paradisal done. I think it should actually already be done since we have Verdant on there. All right, sorry, my dogs are going crazy, but we got the Brain Rot mutation done on a sugar apple, so we're good. And we just got Paradisal done on our Cocoa Mango, so that is good. And hey, why the dog barking? All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and pick up this Lemon Lion here, and we'll get Flaming done in a second. So I guess with that Lemon Lion being out of the way, we can go ahead and put a Jackalope down to start working on getting Sandy mutation, and we'll go ahead and add some more Jackalopes in once we get the Phoenix done and the Raiju done. So we get that Sandy mutation done and out of the way. This guy's gonna need another boost though. He's got a fast cooldown, but percent chance is kind of low, so I like to boost him to help us out a little bit. There we go. All right, Phoenix is applying Flaming to different fruits, and he actually looks like he applied it directly to our Cocoa Mango. Yes, he did. All right, perfect. Thank you, my guy. Thank you so much. All right, Phoenix, your job is done. Actually, hold on a minute.
How do you apply Flaming when it's literally raining? This game is very unrealistic. My immersion is ruined.
All right, I'm picking up the Phoenix. We're going to go swap him out with another Jackalope, and hopefully we get Sandy done here. Raiju will give us static in just a second. Also, do we have shocked on this? Yes, we do. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, yeah, so he'll eat that shock carrot there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this flaming one. We got a ton of stuff Moonlit, and our Cocoa Mango directly is Moonlit, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these Moonlit carrots and just plant some new ones, just so we have an easier palette for our Spinos. All right, Raiju ate the carrot, and he just applied static to a sugar apple and some carrots, so he is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these static carrots since he got it on a sugar apple over there. Again, just to make it easier for our Spinos in a little bit, let's go ahead and pick him up. My poor little Jackalopes are failing at life. Oh no. Let's go ahead and spawn another one in. We gotta get Sandy done, guys. Come on, hurry up. Give us Sandy. We need some Sandy done and out of the way. All right, we got things to do. All right, we got Twisted and Windstruck, which means we got Tempestuous. We are done with our Pterodactyl here, so that is good. We can move him out of the way, and we have all of our Jackalopes spawned in, so now we can start adding in some Disco Bees into the mix to give us the Disco mutation, hopefully, and then we'll work on Chicken Zombies after that. Come on, guys, stop failing me. Get Sandy on something, please. Sandy, 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 please, Sandy. All right, we got Sandy added to a carrot, and an earthquake is happening. I channeled an energy I did not mean to channel, I guess. Anyways, our cockatrice just applied toxic to a sugar apple over here, so that is another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice here. He is done with his job, and then we'll get Luminous done in just a second here. We'll go ahead and boost that sprite to save some time. Oh, look at that. We just got Foxfire Chakra finally, dude. We never get Foxfire Chakra, but we just got it on a carrot. All right, let's go and move that to the buffet platter as well. There we go. We got Foxfire Chakra. Oh, and we got a meteor shower. We got Celestial happening. Hold on. I think I have a star caller in there, but I'll put another one down just in case. There we go. Put one in that corner. I guess I'll put another one down over here for the carrots just in case, just so we can make sure we get Celestial done. All right, cool. Yeah, all these are Celestial now. Perfect. We're good. And go ahead and travel this over here. So we do have all of our disco bees here. We have 4 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing down some chicken zombies as well into the mix. We can only do 1 right now, but once the sprite is done, we can go ahead and put down another chicken zombie. Well, our Cocoa Mango is Celestial now. That's perfect, actually. So we really don't even need this carrot over here. I guess I can pick it up just to save some time for later. All right, Luminous Sprite, stop making weird noises and give us that Luminous mutation so I can add in another chicken zombie here. And then I guess I could probably boost my Corrupt Kazoo in a second so we can get Corrupt Chakra done and out of the way. All right, he's going to apply Luminous to something. It looks like he's targeting a carrot. He is targeting a carrot. He's spinning around the carrot, and we got Luminous added to the carrot. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here to our platter. That actually looks cool. Sorry, I have problems. Anyways, that is done. Let's go ahead and pick up this Luminous Sprite, get him out of the way, and replace him with another chicken zombie so we get Zombified done, hopefully. And then we're going to wait just a second here to get Corrupt Chakra done. All right, so our Corrupt Kitsune is going to give us Corrupt Chakra. Hopefully we'll get Corrupt Foxfire Chakra so we can get Ascended Chakra and get that really nice multiplier. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's just see what he does real quick. All right, so we just got Corrupt Chakra. All right, so we at least have Corrupt Chakra done, which is nice. But I'm going to go ahead and pick him up for now so we can focus on getting the other, I guess, guaranteed mutations done. And we can spawn in another chicken zombie here to get Zombified done. So I did boost all my Disco Bees here, so hopefully we can get Disco done. This Jax one is about to try and apply it. So hopefully that'll be, please, Disco. Failed. Okay, usually they fail a couple times. All right, that's fine. I just kicked my chair and that hurt really bad. Ow. All right, Peach Wasp is stinging that Disco Bee. Let's see if we get Disco from that one. Failed. Okay, well, that doesn't help me there. All right, well, we still have 2 more Disco Bees with their cooldowns almost done. So let's see. Let's just see if we get it done before we get Plasma done with our Peach Wasp. That'd be nice. All right, come on. Come on, Disco Bees. Please give us Disco so we can just get the chicken zombies done, and then we can get this AFK grind on the way, guys. Come on. Please, look at me. I'm so sad. All right, let's see it. Disco? 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 Failed. All right, we got 1 more Disco Bee, and then we got to wait for the cooldowns again. Come on, Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, I don't like you. I really don't like you. You are our last hope, and now I have no hope. My heart's ruined. But at least Peach Wasp is going to give us Plasma. There we go. We got Plasma added to a carrot. So thanks for that, Peach Wasp. I'm going to go ahead and move this Plasma carrot to our platter. And we're good. I'm going to pick up the rest of these carrots since they're kind of done with that right now. And let's go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw in 1 more chicken zombie into the mix. And now we have 4 and 4. So hopefully we can get Disco done, Zombified done, and then we can stop crying and we can go AFK with our nice AFK setup. All right, so we finally got the Disco mutation applied to a carrot down here, I think. Yeah, right there in the sandy carrot. So Disco is officially done. We can go ahead and pick up these Disco Bees, and now it's on to just trying to get Zombified. We have 1 of our chicken zombies about to be done with its cooldown. I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my last chicken zombie here and a Mimic Octopus just to try and help speed this up in case this one fails. Let's see if Bella comes in clutch. Otherwise, we have a ton of other chicken zombies now that we can use. Let's see. Failed. Okay, well, at least we have 5 chicken zombies spawned in now and a Mimic Octopus, so we have 6 pets to try and give us Zombified. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Zombified done very soon, but I guess because we do have all these guys working on giving us Zombified, we can go ahead and spawn in a couple of our AFK pets, like the Gnome here and the Spriggan, since these are our 2 highest chance ones, and if these guys give us their mutations, then we'll be able to spawn in 2 lobsters whenever we do the AFK grind. All right, so we just had 1 of our chicken zombies actually applied the Zombified mutation to a sugar apple over here. Oh, there it is down there. All right, so Zombified is officially done, and that is ready to go. So we can go ahead and pick up all of our chicken zombies here and our Mimic Octopus. And so we have the Gnome and the Spriggan spawned in. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets ready to go and get all the rest of our mutations done. And then we can focus on getting these Spinos to move these guys, their mutations over. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in a lobster. We're going to spawn in our aromatic spaghetti slot to get aromatic pasta sauce and meatball, so that will mix into the spaghetti mutation. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our junk bot for the oil mutation, our tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation. We'll spawn in our corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation, and let's see, we're missing one other pet here. Ah, the griffin. All right, I figured there was one. So the griffin will give us cyclonic, and then that will turn into maelstrom, and then eventually we can get storm charged with that. So that'll be some extra mutations, lots of extra multipliers, and we can make some good money. So we have our nice AFK setup ready here. We got to get all these mutations done. Once we get one of these done, I'm going to swap out with the kappa. The second one I'll swap out with another kappa, and then I think the third one I'll swap out with the corrupt kitsune again, so we could try to get foxfire corrupt chakra, and then I will swap out the rest with some Spinos and our ascended mooncat just in case we can try to get dawnbound. I forgot to actually spawn in my mooncat after last video to try and get dawnbound on something so we can use a T-Rex to multiply it, but I'm going to try to do that today after this video if we don't get it by the time I'm done recording. All right, but anyways, I'll be right back. I think we're good to go, and it's time to AFK and get these mutations done. All right, so after our first round of AFKing, I came back and it looks like we do have corrupt done, which is awesome, so I can go ahead and pick up our corrupted scarlet here. His job has been completed, and then looking through some of these other fruits that we do have a carrot with gnomed on it, so our gnome is also done. We can go ahead and pick him up as well and get him out of the way, as that's another one done. And I looked through all this. I didn't really see anything else that was completed. We did get sauce done, but we still need meatball, pasta, and aromatic, and we did get sauce done a couple of times, so our spaghetti sauce just really likes sauce today apparently. And yeah, I didn't really see anything else on the sugar apples. It's kind of hard to tell because there's so many of them stacked together, but I don't see anything else that got done. However, I did come back from being AFK, and right when I did come back, I did notice on our cocoa mango here, we did get molten as soon as I got back from AFK, which just converted over to blazing. So once we get meteoric, that can become infernal, which will be even a better multiplier buff. But anyways, since we did get 2 of our pets done, and our Spriggan, actually, let's see if our Spriggan will give us bloom real quick. I'm gonna boost him. If we get bloom done, that'd be nice. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got 1 fruit done with bloom. That is perfect. I don't know what got done with bloom, but something got done with bloom. I think one of our sugar apples. So there it is. So bloom is also done. Now we can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. But we do have 3 slots open. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in some kappas here. And I'm also going to go ahead and put down some carrot seeds over here for our kappas. Help with getting the bloodlet mutation done. So there we go. There's 12 carrots for them to work with. And since they're spawned in, I'm going to go ahead and also spawn back in my corrupt kitsune to try and get foxfire corrupt chakra while we AFK a little bit longer. And then once some more of these guys finish up with their mutations, we're going to swap out and start putting some Spinos in here. But so far, some pretty good progress. So we actually have bloodlet done, which means we can go ahead and get rid of these 2 kappas that we have. We also did get oil done from our junk bot, so we can go ahead and also pick up our junk bot since he is done. And we did get tranquil from our other scarlet, so we can go ahead and pick up our scarlet here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another lobster just so we can try and help that one get meteoric done a little bit faster. I will boost this one though real quick to see if we can get that finished. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Lobster just applied meteoric to one of our mandrakes, so that's actually perfect. We can go ahead and pick up our lobsters now, so those guys are done. And let's see if our spaghetti sauce gives us meatball finally. Okay, another sauce, but that's fine. He has time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and also boost my griffin here to see if we can get cyclonic done a little bit faster. And doesn't look like we got cyclonic still. Let me check this. Yeah, so no cyclonic, but that's fine. We'll let him keep doing his thing. But all right, we did make some pretty good progress here though. So that means we can go ahead and officially spawn in our ascended mooncat to try and get dawnbound done, depending on how long it takes for our Spinos to move everything over. So I'll go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna pick up some of these carrots that we don't need. I'm gonna go ahead and move the good ones over though that we do need. So this one with oil, I'm gonna go put that over here. I'll move the tranquil one over there, and I'll move this bloodlet one over here, and we can go ahead and pick up all these other ones since we don't really need any of these other mutations. We have all those, and I think we're good. So now that we have that ascended mooncat spawned in, we can go ahead and get all of our Spinos spawned in as well. So let's go ahead and get these Spinos spawned in. We have 2 megas, 2 normal ones, and that will get a ton of mutations moved over, and we can get them all put on to our big cocoa mango here and get a maxed out cocoa mango with all the mutations on it. So we made some pretty good progress so far. This one's actually going a lot faster. Our pets are helping us out, giving us all the mutations that we need, which is perfect. So now we're just going to go ahead and AFK, wait for these Spinos to move everything over. And in the meantime, while they are moving stuff over, we just got to wait for that, hopefully, Foxfire Corrupt Chakra to get added to something cyclonic. And then we still need Meatball and Aromatic, but we're almost there. So lots of great progress so far. All right, so after about 4 hours of AFKing, we did get everything moved over to our Cocoa Mango here. The only thing is, for some reason, we haven't been able to get Aromatic, and we also have not been able to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra. I don't know why those two are struggling. Usually we get Aromatic pretty early on, but it has literally not gotten added to anything at all. So I don't know why. But besides that, we do have about 32 mutations on our Cocoa Mango, and if we separate Spaghetti here, we'd be up to 34. If we separated Harmonized Chakra, 35, Gloom, 36, Paradisal, 37, Storm Charge would be about 41, and I think we'd be up to probably about like 44. So if we did get Ceramic, and we got this converted to Ceramic, I don't know why I didn't convert. I think it's because we got Infernal done too early before it was able to convert Sandy to Clay and then Ceramic. We also got Frozen, I think, before the Sandy was able to get Clay, so that kind of messed it up. And we also did not get Aromatic added onto it, and we also did not get our Dawnbound done. It's been hours, and this guy is still trying here, but we have about 2 hours left, so I'm probably just gonna AFK after I finish this video and let our Mooncat apply this to a carrot or something like that, just so we have a Dawnbound item for the next video. But anyways, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. I wanted to get Aromatic and I wanted to get Ascended Chakra done, but I don't know why I'm not having any luck getting either of those right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and just call it here, and we're gonna at least try to get Amber done still. The other thing is, we did get some other events happening. Like, we did get the Earthquake event, and we did not get Cracked, and we did get some other events as well while I was AFKing, and we didn't get really any of the event mutations like Cracked, Aurora, Acid, or Acidic, I guess. And yeah, I don't know why, but anyways, we are gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 Raptors. I would do all 8, but I'm gonna let that Mooncat finish up its job there, and I'm gonna go ahead and boost these guys with my toys here. All right, everyone is now boosted, and we are good to pick up the Cocoa Melon or the Cocoa Mango. Sorry, I keep saying Cocoa Melon, bro. I don't know why. All right, but let's see if we can get Amber applied to this now.
Nope.
Okay, we did not get Amber applied to this, but we... What the heck was that, bro? What was that sound? That kind of just scared me. But, wait, is it this? It is this, bro. The Cocoa Mango's making weird sounds. Okay, that's terrifying. But anyways, here's our Cocoa Mango with all these mutations on it in all of its glory. Now, I wish we got a little bit of a bigger Cocoa Mango here, but this is decent size. So I guess with this and all the mutations, I don't know what we can expect for the price, but hopefully we get something good. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Steven here. Without further ado, let's see how much this Cocoa Mango is worth. All right, we actually hit perfectly on the 1 trillion mark, which is crazy. So if we did get Aromatic added and we did get Ascended Chakra, we would have been past 1 trillion, which would have been insane. So the Cocoa Mango is actually very, very good. I'm actually really happy with that amount. I honestly didn't expect to have that much of a value, but it did pretty good, and it makes this sound. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And also, we do have the new pet. I went ahead and just did this, where I skipped all of the tiers in the past, so we could get this new pet, the Masuchi. I believe that's how you say it. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the Crimson Thorn. We're also going to go ahead and move this. This is my carrot here with the Shock mutation with some extra mutations on it. However, we have all these mutations over here. We AFK'd for like 24 hours during the admin events, so we got a ton of mutations. We also even have the Rainbow mutation up here. So we're just gonna use our Spino today to move that over, and we're gonna save some time with a lot of our pets. And we have a ton of other mutations done that we can save time getting today. So that should help us out a lot. So we have this carrot here. We're going to use our Raiju in a second, but first thing we're going to do is actually spawn in these mandrakes here, and we're going to spawn in... Oops, that's a mandrake seed. We're spawning our mandrakes. Apple Gazelle. We're going to spawn some mandrake seeds in right here. We're going to go ahead and drop down an advanced sprinkler right over these. Grab some watering cans, which, by the way, apparently there's super watering cans now. How? Oh. That's what... Wow, the super watering can is very fast. Okay, that's actually crazy. All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and watering can these mandrakes here with the advanced sprinkler. Wow, that's a big mandrake we just got. Never seen one that big. That's kind of crazy. All right, we're going to pick these up, though. Try to get the rot mutation done. There we go. We got the rot mutation applied to a sugar apple. So we're good there. We're going to now go ahead and spawn in a couple of my sugar apples here. We have a grow all tool we're going to go ahead and use, and just go ahead and grow all with this. And our Apple Gazelle is... actually looks a little different. Did he get a new texture? Or no, his apple's gone. That's why. All right, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and boost him, though, with a toy here. And we're going to go ahead and pick these up and attempt to get the warp mutation done. All right, we actually did not get the warp mutation from that. So let's go ahead and try it again. Bro, we usually have warp by now. What is going on? All right, well, I guess I'll use this one. And if not, we'll use our main account to start growing all because something is not right here. All right, I guess we'll just keep trying because I don't know why. I cannot get a warp mutation today.
2 seconds later.
All right, well, apparently looking in the Discord server, the warp mutation is broken right now. So I just spent like 1,000 plus Robux to try and get it, and we're not able to get it. So I guess it's actually broken. People are reporting in the Discord that it is not working. So I guess we're not going to be getting warp mutation today, which is unfortunate. But all right, we're going to go ahead and move on then. Sorry that I'm not getting warp today, but we have some extra ones anyways that we can apply instead of warped, so it should be fine. But anyways, from there, let's go ahead and just reclaim these sugar apple trees then, and we picked up all those pets, and then let's go ahead and get a big crimson thorn to grow in. Now I got to pick up these ones that have grown in. So this thing's actually pretty cool. It's like a staircase. You can literally just climb this thing all the way to the top, so it's pretty insane. I don't know if this is a bigger one or if these can be smaller, bigger. I think it's got to be about this size, but we actually have a rainbow one there, but we do have rainbow mutations down there that we're gonna use our Spinos move over, so that's fine. And all right, this one's clear, so now we can go ahead and get our sprinklers ready. So let's go ahead and just get these done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a Grandmaster Sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. So that way we can get some big crimson thorns in here, and then we're also going to spawn in some mooncats. So let's go ahead and spawn in quite a few mooncats here, and let's go ahead and spawn in one triceratops to speed up some progress. All right, so we just gotta wait for a big crimson thorn now, and once we get one, we can actually go ahead and just start applying mutations to it because we already have rainbow done over here. So we do not need to use our butterfly today. We do not need to use our queen bee. We also have oil, so we won't need to use junk bot. We already have ceramics, so we won't need to use the jackalope. We already have plasma, so we don't need to use the peach wasp. We already have tempestuous, so we don't need to use the pterodactyl. Now we do have meteoric, but we don't have molten, so we'll have to use the lobsters for just a little bit, but not for too long. But anyways, it looks like we're good. Our mooncats are stacking up nicely on our crimson thorn here. We have some sprinklers going, so hopefully we can get a pretty big crimson thorn to grow in and then start getting some mutations on it. I'm excited to see the price of this thing. I believe it's going to be worth a lot of money, so we should be good. All right, we are back, and yeah, we got some pretty big crimson thorns here, dude. These things are humongous. Now I don't even know which one is our biggest one. It's kind of hard to tell because of how big these are, but I think this gold one up here seems to be the biggest out of all of them. Oh wait, no, I think it's this one right here, this one at the bottom. Let me do a quick stud check here. This one has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and a half. And this one on the end here has 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, yeah, never mind. So I think this one's actually the biggest, the gold one up there. All right, well, okay. It looks like we have our picks. I'm going to go ahead and favorite this one real quick and then harvest the rest of them. All right, so now this one up here is ready to go and it's favorited, and that way we won't accidentally pick it up or anything. So we can go ahead and start getting some stuff done here. So I'm gonna go ahead, and we already actually have chocolate done on one of these sugar apples over here. So I'm actually gonna save the chocolate spray that I have, and here comes my kitsune, by the way, and it's going to apply which chakra version. Okay, just regular chakra, that's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply pollinated, and we don't need to do chocolate because we already have it. So I will do a honey glazed sprinkler. Here it is, so we can get honey glazed on that. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to go ahead and apply some sprays here. And since we already have the shock mutation over there and tempestuous and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and only have to apply the cloud touch mutation, the glimmering mutation, and luminous. And there we go. This thing is looking nice. We have a couple mutations added to it already, and our Spinos will really take over in a little bit and move a lot of the stuff over. And we can go ahead and start using some of our guaranteed pets and getting those mutations done. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up all these mooncats, and let's go ahead and get down the list here. So first off is our Raiju. Gonna go ahead and spawn him in so we can get the static mutation done and out of the way. I'm also gonna spawn in our lemon lion for the brain rot mutation, the golden goose for the fortune mutation, corrupt kitsune for corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra, and the cockatrice for the toxic mutation. We're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our phoenix here for the flaming mutation. We can go ahead and spawn in the spriggan for the blue mutation. Let's do the swan, and then before we do the spriggan, let's actually bring out our new friend here, the Mizuchi, which we have a a rainbow one from paying through the premium pass. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn this guy in, which can actually give us the new Azure mutation. This says when selling fruits with Azure, there's a 12% chance that a random mutation from that fruit will be applied to a fruit in your garden. So once we sell this, if we ever do, the one that we're about to get Azure on, we can possibly get it to duplicate onto something else. But that isn't really that great, considering that this thing already has a 24% chance to spread it anyways every 3 minutes. So we're fine as it is. I'm gonna go ahead though, and let's go ahead and place some more carrot seeds around here so our pets have an easier time to apply mutations and we have better chances to get everything done. And there we go. So we have our first set here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my toys in my inventory, and with that we can actually, I think we can boost this guy to even give him a better chance, and it shortens his cooldown a little bit, but that bumps us to 29%, so we should be able to get the new Azure mutation pretty quick. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and just get some more pets ready in my hotbar that are guaranteed mutations, or we consider guaranteed mutations. So I'm gonna get a Spriggan in there. Let's get our Kappas ready in our hotbar. And we can actually skip the Disco Beast today and go straight to the Chicken Zombies because we already have Disco on quite a few of our fruits over here. So we can skip a lot of our pets today, and we're actually going to have even more mutations than we normally do, but this is going to be faster because of all those admin mutations that we have. So this Crimson Thorn will actually probably literally be the most mutated Crimson Thorn so far in Grow Garden, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, hopefully this thing will be living up to people's expectations. I feel like we could have probably got that thing a little bit bigger than it is, but that's a good size, and we're going to get a lot of mutations on it. So we should make some good money here.
Nope.
Wow, almost 30% chance, and it just failed. Our Mizuchi just failed the Azure mutation. Shame, shame. Also, I don't know exactly what event this is from. I'm sure I'll find out, or it's an admin event, but we do have this new glided or gilded mutation. I don't know what that's from. I'm gonna screenshot that though. That's new. I don't know. That might have been an admin one. All right, so Lemon Lion is giving us Brain Rot now, which is on a Sugar Apple over there, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and pick him up. Swan will give us Graceful now. All right, that was applied to one of our carrots. I don't know exactly which one because we have so many. Maybe one of these. Yeah, right here on this carrot. All right, so our Swan is done. So we can go ahead and pick up our Swan as well. And I think we could boost our Phoenix. Yeah, that'll save a couple minutes there. We can go ahead and boost our Raiju, save a couple minutes, and then boost our Golden Goose and also save a couple minutes and get those guys out of the way. But now we do have some extra pet slots, so we're gonna go ahead and bring in our Spriggan to give us Bloom. And I guess we can actually go ahead and do our Badger real quick to get the cracked mutation out of the way, since this one's a little bit faster than the Kappas and the Chicken Zombies. So let's go ahead and get the Badger done. With the boost, he only takes about a minute and 40 seconds, so we'll get cracked done pretty quick. All right, we're about to get Flaming done as well, and then we'll get Static done shortly after that. All right, so our Phoenix is going to give us Flaming. There we go. A bunch of Sugar Apples have Flaming now, and some carrots. Tons of Sugar Apples actually have. I'm gonna pick up that one carrot since we don't need it on that then. Phoenix is done. There we go. I boosted the Cockatrice, so he'll be done with the Raiju in just a minute. Let's see if we get Azure now. No, not yet. All right, well, we'll just keep waiting for that. That's fine. All right, but we do have another pet slot open then, and we'll go ahead and spawn in our first Kappa to give us Bloodlet. Also, I don't know why I can't hear any of the pet sounds. Okay, I can hear the Kappa, but no one else is making noise today. Everyone's just quiet. Everyone's being shy today. They're not telling me anything. I can hear all the other sounds besides the pet sounds. I don't know. I guess this update has come with some bugs. All right, so now our Cockatrice here is going to give us the Toxic mutation, and our Raiju is going to give us the Static mutation. So that'll be another 2 mutations done. And once those guys are out of the way, we can spawn in another Kappa and also get some Chicken Zombies going. Okay, we got cracked on a ton of stuff over here. So we are good and Toxic. We got on some carrots and actually on, I think, our Crimson Thorn directly. I think it's that one up there. So I think we're good. We can go ahead and pick up our Cockatrice since Toxic is done. We can pick up our Giant Badger since Cracked is obviously done on multiple plants. And our Raiju is now, okay, he ate something over here, but he did give us Static. I don't know which one he ate. I thought I favorited all my shock fruits, but hopefully he didn't eat one that was important. Everything should have been favorited, so the one that he probably ate was one that I didn't really care about then, and I just missed, so that's fine. But there we go. We have a Static carrot. We have plenty of Static apples. We can go ahead and pick up the Raiju as well, and we have 3 pet slots open, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another Kappa to give us Bloodlet done faster, and then get 2 Chicken Zombies in here to get zombified done soon. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw some more carrot seeds down so our Kappas have an easier time giving us Bloodlet, and our Spriggan will give us an easier time for Bloom. Also, yeah, some of our pets that aren't making sounds are just bugged. Like this Chicken Zombie has no nose. This Corrupt Kitsune is missing ears. So I don't know if it's just a Roblox thing. The Spriggan's missing some branches. So like, yeah, the pets are very bugged right now. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's just a painful day for my pets. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fortune egg done. Now let's go ahead and boost this Mizuchi again. Hopefully we can get that mutation done, please. Still failed. That's actually crazy. It's about a 30% chance and this dude is just failing in life. That is sad. I don't know why you're being so sad today, but you know what? My golden goose never lets me down. Free fortune egg right here. Thanks, buddy. All right. Thanks for that fortune mutation. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up now and move this over here. All right. So yeah, we have a few more pets we gotta wait for here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for our Mizuchi to maybe give us a Zor, or you know, our Krokutsu will probably be next, and then we have our Spriggans, Kappas, all that. I want to make sure these guys are still boosted so we can get Bloodlet done a little bit faster, and that should be good. So I'll be back in a minute when we get some more mutations done, and I'm also with that extra slot gonna spawn in another chicken zombie so we can get zombified done fast and out of the way. All right, we did get the Azor mutation applied to this carrot just now, so that is done. Our new Mizuchi pet is done with its mutations, and our Kappa is watering some carrots. So as long as it can stick right here, we'll get Bloodlet done within the next minute. But we're gonna go ahead and pick up. Where is he? Here we go. Pick up this guy, boost the Corrupt Kitsune, get that done in a couple minutes, and then hopefully we'll also get Bloodlet done in a minute and a half. I guess I'll go ahead and move these pancakes over here just so the Kappas hover over here a little bit more and give us blood a little bit faster. All right, so I also just realized that I thought we didn't need our Peach Wasp because we had Abyssal, but I'm not thinking correctly. That's for when you get Void Touch with the Space Squirrel. So we actually need the Peach Wasp still for Plasma because that's completely different. So I'm going to actually spawn in our Peach Wasp because we do need to get that guaranteed mutation done. And in the meantime, though, our Corrupt Kitsune is about to apply Corrupt Chakra or Foxfire Corrupt Chakra so we can get that done. And once he's done with that, oh, you know what? I realized I was going to buy the Fall Fountain, but it's kind of too late for that, isn't it? Yeah, because I was gonna say I'm gonna buy that and then use that instead of the Grizzly Bears to get the fall mutation, but I gotta still use Grizzly Bears because I didn't buy the fountain in time. I should have done that, but anyways, it's fine. All right, so we have Corrupt Chakra applied to a sugar apple and some carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the carrots since it's done on the sugar apples. Actually, I think it's on one of these carrots. So pick up the Corrupt Kitsune, replace it with the Grizzly Bears so we can get fall done because I'm dumb and I didn't buy the fall fountain like I should have. And yeah, then once these guys are done, we'll just stock up on chicken zombies and then get ready for our AFK grind since everyone else should be done with their mutations. Now, I don't know why Jandel did this, but it makes me sad that when you actually come in here now, you can no longer craft... Excuse me, hold on. But you can no longer craft the shock mutation spray, the glimmering mutation spray, and the pollinated one. You can only do chocolate. I don't know if they moved it to the mutation spray merchant. Maybe they did that. I have to actually look, but I'm sad that they did that because I was going to restock on those, but I guess that is why the Firefly is a thing now to get the shock mutation from this, since they decided to remove the sprays from the crafting. So yeah, we got 2 Fireflies though, so these guys will come in handy for when we need the shocked, but yeah, kind of goofy they did that in my opinion. I'm so sorry, I keep yawning, I'm really tired. I gotta get this recorded, bro. It's 1:30 in the morning and I've hardly slept last night and I'm dying, but I gotta do the Crimson Thorn. We gotta see what the Crimson Thorn is worth, okay? So I'm dying for you guys. I hope you love me for that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm gonna boost this Grizzly Bear with the pet toy again, but I'm also going to use, I have some small pet toys, so I think I can boost them with this as well. Yeah, so we have 2 pet toy boosts on him. That'll give him a 13% chance now. I will also boost the Spriggan, and I'll give us Bloom in a second, and boost another Kappa to give us Bloodlet done, hopefully in a minute here. All right, let's see if we get Fall, and let's see if we get Bloodlet. All right, Shay's coming over here. Good job. Please do not move over there. Please don't go back over there. All right, that failed. Shay, buddy. Come on, Bloodlet, please, somewhere. Okay, only wet. He only gave wet on 4 carrots. All right, so I just boosted my Kappa here and we got a Bloodlet carrot, actually 2 of them, so we are good with Bloodlet and our Kappas. I can go ahead and move this over here. Spriggan is also done. As you can see, he just farted all over the place and gave us the blue mutation on a bunch of stuff, including our sugar apple, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some of these carrots, but there we go. That gives us some more pet slots, so picking up the Spriggan, picking up the Kappas, and our chicken zombies should be done shortly, and hopefully we get fall done soon too, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these wet carrots just to get some of these out of the way, clean up the mutations a little bit because we have so many that the Spinos already have to move over, so let's make their job a little bit easier. Okay, I think these are all good over here. Yeah, our Kappas didn't really come over here. All right, and I guess we'll go ahead and start with our gnome now to get gnome done, and we can go ahead and put our lobster in to get Bolton done since we already have meteoric, and I'll save a little bit of time in the long haul so we can get Spinos to start moving stuff over, and we'll go ahead and put 1 more grizzly bear in to get fall done a little bit faster, and that should help. Now we have some chicken zombies almost done here, and I think I can boost boost them with toys, and they'll be in the time limit here. So there we go, they're boosted. I guess I can boost this one with a small toy, and there we go. Let's see if we get zombified done. There we go, zombified's done to a sugar apple. That's good. So we can go and pick up these chicken zombies, and now we just gotta wait for plasma, hopefully get fall, and we really don't need to wait for gnome to get done, or molten. These guys are technically just our AFK pets, but we can wait if we want. But since we're gonna wait to get plasma done anyways in fall, I'll wait, and once we get plasma and fall at least done, then we'll put in the rest of our AFK pets. But we should be good for now. I guess for now, since we gotta wait anyways for these guys, I'll start throwing in some more of our AFK pets. I'll put our griffin in, I'll get our spaghetti sauce in to start getting those done, and we can go ahead and put in, I guess, our corrupt scarlet, and then we can do our tranquil in just a little bit. And we go ahead and get some toys ready to boost our grizzly bears again to hopefully give us fall and get that out of the way. Please give us fall. Please give us fall. There we go. We got fall on a carry. Just got to do a little chant. All right. So grizzly bear number 1 is done. Grizzly bear number 2 is done. And we are good. So I'm going to go ahead and travel this carrot over here into our collection. We can go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet. And we are technically ready for our AFK setup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just wait to fully AFK until we get plasma done, since this is only going to take another 14 minutes. But for now, we do have that extra pet slot. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in our first Mega Spinosaurus here to start moving over mutations to our Crimson Thorn up there that is still favorited, so we can't eat anything off of that. But yeah, we have a lot of mutations that these guys have to eat off of our sugar apples, off of our carrots, so we got to get started getting these things moved over. All right, so our peach wasp just applied the plasma mutation to a carrot over here. For some reason I thought it was just going to sting again, but it was doing its mutation, so that's nice for us. And plasma is done. So with that, we can go ahead and pick up our peach wasp, and now all of our guaranteed pets are done, and we're pretty much ready to just go in AFK mode. So I'm gonna throw in another Mega Spino in there, and pretty much now we are just going to wait for more mutations to get done from our other pets. And once more mutations get done, we'll place some more Spinos, Mimic Octopuses, all that, so that way we can get everything to just move mutations over and get it to this Crimson Thorn so we can check the price and hopefully be rich. But in the meantime, I'm going to just go ahead and real quick just wait and see if we can get Cyclonic done, because if we can, then we can go AFK with another Spino in the mix, and that will actually help save some more time, because we have a lot of mutations that we need to get moved over today. So it's probably already going to take an hour or two for them all to get moved over. So the more Spinos that we have, the faster that will be. So yeah, let's just see if we get Cyclonic real quick before AFK. What are we going to get? We're also going to get one of our spaghetti sauce mutations done, even though that's like always going to happen. But what do you got for us, Griffin? Cyclonic anywhere? Does not look like we got it anywhere. All right, well, we'll wait for that then. That was worth a shot. Spaghetti Sloth is giving us one of his mutations, so we got pasta done. All right, cool. Thanks for pasta, buddy. All right, well, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and AFK then and let our pets work their magic as we AFK. I guess I'll boost my gnome again and maybe get that one done. All right, so just a quick check-in. We got a lot of the mutations done here. We got gnomed done on one of these carrots over here. And then in the mix, we also got corrupt and tranquil done on some of these apples up here. So we moved those guys out of the way, and we also got cyclonic done. So pretty much at this point, we're only waiting for our spaghetti sloth because I still have not seen aromatic and I have not seen sauce. I even looked up here, and that guy up there that's favorited with all the mutations, I did not see aromatic or sauce, so we're still waiting for our spaghetti sauce to give us those two. But we do have 4 Spinosauruses put down now, and that's our max. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put a Mimic Octopus down. His head's kind of gone, but I'm going to go ahead and put this guy down and a Queen Bee, and this should help with some cooldowns so we can get the rest of these mutations done a little bit faster, or at least moved over a little bit faster. All right, so we have gotten all of our mutations moved over to the Crimson Thorn, and this took a while, bro. It's like 6 a.m. I need to get some sleep, okay? So we're gonna go through this real quick, but as you can see, we probably have the most mutated Crimson Thorn so far in Roblox Grow a Garden. However, the only problem I've noticed is that the rainbow mutation did not get moved over from the Spinosauruses. For some reason, gold did, but not rainbow, and rainbow should have upgraded the gold, but it didn't. So we're gonna have a little bit less of a multiplier than we normally do, which is very unfortunate. I really wanted the rainbow for this, but I don't know why that happened. Anyways, in total, we have 48 mutations, and then if we actually separate some, like Cosmic would have 49. Spaghetti would bring us to about 51. Harmonized Chakra, 52. Storm Charge would bring us to about, I believe, 54. I want to say maybe 55 actually, but I'll say 54. Ceramic would bring us to about 56. Frozen, 57. Infernal would bring us to about 60. Paradisal would be 61. Gloom, 62. Abyssal, 63. And that's about it. So yeah, this thing has about 63 total mutations on this Crimson Thorn, which is actually insane. And it's pretty big. Again, the only thing we didn't get is Rainbow for some reason, not converting the gold to Rainbow from the Spinos. But I guess once you have one, it can't get anything else on it. And we got gold first, which is unfortunate for us. But let's go ahead though and use our magnifying glass to check the value of this Crimson Thorn and see how much this thing is going to be worth as one of the, actually as the best fruit in Roblox Grow Garden now. So without further ado, we're going to check in 3, 2, 1. This thing is worth only 953 billion. However, I believe if we actually got rainbow instead of gold, that would have been enough multiplier to make this thing a couple of trillions. Plus, if we got a bigger size, I think this thing probably would have been at least 5+ trillion. But I think that gold not actually converting is what really messed this up to not even hit 1 trillion, which is insane because we still had like 60 other mutations on this thing. We're going to go ahead and try to get amber on it real quick by using our raptors. So this will be the last test to see if we can add any more value to this thing. All right, let's see if we get amber by... I just fell off of it. Okay, well, I gotta... Actually, I can use the harvest tool. So let's see if we can get amber by harvesting this Crimson Thorn. All right, we did not get amber. However, here's our Crimson Thorn with all of the mutations. It, for some reason, shrank into this tiny size. And maybe if we check with Steven, let's see if the value changed at all. Nope, still the same amount. So yeah, 953 billion. I'm surprised we didn't even pass 1 trillion with this many mutations on this thing. And it's supposed to be the best fruit in the game now. So I'm actually surprised that we didn't even hit 1 trillion. But I guess the rainbow mutation really does help. And I guess the size of this wasn't as big as it could have been. But I'm very surprised about that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my firewall down right here, and then we're also going to go ahead and use some of our sugar apple seeds here. We do have sugar apples spawned over here, but we're gonna go ahead and actually plant some new ones since those have tons of mutations on them. And with that, we're gonna spawn in our apple gazelle pet, and we're also gonna spawn in our mandrakes. What we're going to go ahead and do now is hit the grow all button on my main account here so we can get those sugar apples to grow in, and also our firewall. All right, and there we go. So here is the new firewall. These are actually pretty tiny, so we are going to pick these up and we're going to actually grow them in a second. But first, we're going to attempt to get the warp mutation with our apple gazelle. He's already boosted, so let's go ahead and pick up some of these sugar apples here. Surprisingly, we did not get the warp mutation from that, so let's go ahead and grow all again and then try that again. Sometimes this happens, but we should be able to get it within the next grow all or 2 grow alls. Let's see. Bro, why are we actually not getting the warp mutation? Usually we get it pretty quickly. Do they nerf this guy? I don't know. Seems to be about the same % chance. All right, let's keep trying. All right, we're still not getting it, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Just making sure we didn't get it like on anything else. Like maybe it's bugging out or something, but I don't see it on anything. So I think we're just having an issue here. All right, well, I guess I'll keep trying. Just give me a minute here. We should be able to get it in a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. There we go. Finally, we got the warp mutation to spread to one of our plants here. So it's on one of our sugar apples that's already established. So, all right, it just took a couple of tries today. Usually we get a lot faster, but our luck today, I guess, is just not very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up then, now that we're done with these sugar apples. All right, and let's go ahead and pick up our apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and get our mandrake seeds ready here with an advanced sprinkler and some watering cans. We're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down and try to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, there we go. We got the rot mutation to spread over here to one of our sugar apples. So that mutation is now done, and we can go ahead and pick up the rest of these mandrakes and get started with the actual plant here. All right, let me go ahead and sell all this stuff that's in my inventory. Get rid of these real quick, and let's pick up our mandrakes, and let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats here, at least 7 of them. People were saying they nerfed the mooncats, but actually the mooncats just had a bug and they fixed it in this update. So now our mooncats should actually work correctly. We're gonna spawn in a triceratops to help speed up the growth, and let's go ahead and pick up all these firewalls here, and let's go ahead and get our sprinklers down on this firewall plant. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Grandmaster sprinkler here, Master sprinkler, our Godly sprinkler, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. And I believe this is an autumn plant, so we don't have any fall sprinklers on this account. Let me go grab one on my main account real quick, and then we'll throw that in the mix. right, there we go. We have a maple sprinkler added from our main account now, and now we should be able to get some pretty big firewalls here, and it's growing actually pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this right here and see if our moon-cats will help boost this. There's a couple of them here, so hopefully that'll help give us a little bit of a moon-cat boost. But now that we have all of our sprinklers down and we have our moon-cats, we should be able to get a pretty big firewall, and then we can start getting all the mutations added to this thing, and we'll also get all of these extra admin mutations moved over to it as well. So we're gonna have a really expensive firewall today. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite these just so when we attempt to get the rainbow mutation done, we don't have to worry about these converting to rainbow over here, although we have a lot of these things that are mutated like crazy. So I'm gonna have to favorite like everything over here. All right, I got some more moon-cats sleeping. We have a couple of them up here. Let me move this over here because there's like 3 of them right there, and then hopefully we get a pretty big one to grow in. These 2 are decent, but they're not as big as we definitely could get it. Can I move this, please? All right, so we're gonna let that do its thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and look through here, make sure we get everything favorited so we don't pick anything up. There are so many sugar apples in here that we're gonna have to favorite and make sure are safe. All right, sorry, I'm multitasking here, but I'm gonna keep moving this into the pile of moon-cats to try and get a big firewall to grow in. This dude is hitting the sugar apples. That doesn't really help us out, but sure, thanks, man. All right, so I'm gonna wait for a big firewall to grow in. I'm gonna keep favoriting all these sugar apples because there's actually so many. Once we get a pretty big firewall to grow in, we'll come back, get rainbow on it, and then start getting all the mutations. There's just so many plants today. The admin event really is slowing me down because there's so many things I gotta favorite, and I'm gonna have to unfavorite all of them later. So just give me a minute. I'm gonna come back once we have a big firewall and all this is favorited to save some time. All right, so we are back, and we actually got blessed today because we got rainbow firewalls, and also these things grew way bigger than I thought they were going to. So yeah, this one that's actually the biggest one is surprisingly rainbow, so we don't have to go through the whole process of waiting for our butterfly to do its magic on it. So that's actually crazy that we got a rainbow on our first try, and I just spent all that time favoriting all of our fruits so the butterfly wouldn't eat it and eat all the mutations and move them over here. So we actually got really lucky, but now I have to sit here and unfavorite all of them. But I'll do that in a little bit when we're gonna get ready for our Spinos. But anyways, yeah, so we have our big firewall here. It is already rainbow, which saves us some time, so we don't have to sit here and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly and do all that stuff. So we're good with that. We can go ahead and actually start getting some mutations applied to this thing right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through my sprays here. I do need to get pollinated on this. We're gonna put that. We do have chocolate actually added over there, and windstruck is actually in the mix over here as well. We have tempestuous on plenty of fruits, so we can save those today. We are gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down though and add this onto there so we can get the honey glaze mutation. There we go. And then on our main account here, we're going to add the glimmering spray, the cloud touch spray, and the luminous spray. And we also just had our main account's Kitsune apply the chakra mutation in one of the sugar apples over here, or the carrots. So that's an extra mutation done as well. But there we go. Now we have some extra mutations added to our firewall. It looks all beautiful and shiny. But we have 6 mutations on there from sprays, and we are good to go with that. We also don't need verdant, which I would normally spray that, but we already have the verdant mutation applied over here on one of our sugar apples, so we are fine, and we can save the verdant spray as well today. So yeah, a lot of our work was done from the admin events, which is actually crazy. So I am going to go ahead though and spawn in a carrot seed right here, and we're going to use our main account to spray the carrot with the shocked mutation spray. Okay, there we go. And now that we have a shocked carrot here, we can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, and he is going to eat this carrot and then apply the static mutation around the area to maybe the sugar apples or our firewall, or maybe some more carrots, because I am going to place a couple more down here, so that way we can get the static mutation, and that will be used for storm charge or maelstrom later. Since he spawned in, we can go ahead and start getting all of our guaranteed mutation pets done and out of the way as well. So let's go ahead and spawn in our golden goose so we can get a fortune egg set. And let me just go through the mix here. We need our phoenix so we can get the flaming mutation done. We don't need our pterodactyl because we already have tempestuous, and we don't need glimmering spray because we already have the glimmering spray applied, or the luminous spray. We don't need that as well because we have that spray. We're gonna spawn in the cockatrice though for the toxic mutation. We do need our corrupt kitsune for the corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra mutation today. I believe we actually need some jackalopes because we did not get the sandy mutation applied to anything from what I've seen. So we're gonna spawn in 2 jackalopes. We don't need our peach wasp today, so we can save that. We do need our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation done, so we're spawning him in. And I'm just trying to go down the list because my brain's just not working today, dude. There's so many mutations that we already got, so my head is just like not there. So I'm trying to remember like what we need because everything's kind of mixed today. It's different from our normal arrangement of pets. So let's wait for these pets to get done, get these mutations, and then we'll swap out with some new ones. But I'm gonna make sure I get all my other guaranteed-ish pets done. All right, I think we're good. I think I have everything ready in my hotbar now that I need to for our guaranteed pets. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and boost these jack jackalopes, so that one's already boosted, but I'm going to boost this one. We're going to get the Sandy mutation done. Once Sandy's done, we're actually going to spawn in our Swan and our Badger so we can get Cracked and we can get Graceful done. And then I'm going to also need a couple more toys so I can boost some of these other guaranteed pets, get them done a little bit faster. So I'm going to gift myself some more pets. I mean, some more toys. Bro, I literally can't think today. My brain is like completely fried. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. This is not my normal mutation video, all right? There's so much going on today. My head hurts. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and boost the Raiju as well to save some time there. And let's just see if we can get the jackalopes done and get Sandy. Once we get Sandy, we can swap out with two of these guys down here. Failed. What about the other one? Failed. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit here to get Sandy. I'm gonna give myself some more toys. So we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see what mutation we get done next. So I'll be right back. All right, we are good. I got some toys, and some of our pets are going to apply their mutation. So we're gonna have the lemon line give us the brain rot mutation. We can swap them out for our Swan, and we're gonna also boost some of these other guys. So let's boost the Phoenix to get him done and out of the way. Let's boost the Cockatrice to get him out of the way, and we can also boost the Golden Goose, and that should save us a couple minutes for those guys. And our jackalopes are still trying to apply Sandy, so hopefully we can get that done pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, first pet to give us a guaranteed mutation today is the lemon lion. He has a pretty quick cooldown, so that saves us some time here. We can swap him out. All right, there we go. We have the brain rot mutation applied to a sugar apple, so he is done with his job. Pick him up, and we're gonna actually replace him with the Swan, because the Swan is the next guaranteed mutation. We get Graceful every 5 minutes, so that will help us out there. And Phoenix is going next. We got the flaming mutation on a bunch of our sugar apples, and I think some of our carrots. So Phoenix is done. We can get rid of him. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the Phoenix with, I guess, the giant badger so we can get the crack mutation done since he goes pretty quickly. I'm also going to get some more carrot seeds ready so when we spawn in our Kappas, we can get bloodlet done a little bit faster. All right, so our Raiju will be next and then our Cockatrice, but our Raiju will eat this shock carrot and then apply static to a ton of stuff, probably just our other carrots since we have so many spawned in now. And then once he's done, I guess I'll replace him with the Kappas or maybe the grizzly bears next so we can get fall done. And then hopefully these jackalopes hurry up, bro, and give us Sandy. We got to get these guys out of the way, dude. But, oh, our giant badger will be done as well with the Raiju and then also our Cockatrice. So we'll have some more spots. We can throw some grizzly bears in here, the Kappas, and get those mutations done. But, all right, Raiju, come eat the shock carrot, buddy. Don't eat. I hope I didn't forget to favorite something over there. He's going to eat that. All right, good. I think we're good. He's targeting. Uh-oh. What did he just eat? Bro, you just ate one of my good carrots, I think. Or actually, no, I think he ate it from a apple that I didn't favorite because these are all favorited. All right, well, that's fine. We got static done. I don't even know what he just ate, bro. There's so many mutations. My head hurts. All right, and we just got toxic done on some more carrots. I believe this one. Did this one just get toxic on it? One of these I thought just got toxic done. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But the jackalope did just apply Sandy as well. And then our badger is going to apply the crack mutation to a bunch of stuff, which he just did to this one. So we are good. All right, so Raiju's done. Cockatrice is done. Jackalopes are done because we just got Sandy and Badgers done with cracked. So we are good. We just got a bunch of mutations done and out of the way. I am going to move. I don't know what carrots we got toxic on, so I'm just going to throw this one over here. And we just got 24 fruits with the cracked mutation, bro. We didn't even need that many, but thanks for your service, I guess. That works. I'm going to pick up some of these carrots to get them out of the way. We actually did get cracked directly on our firewell, so we really don't need cracked on anything else. I might as well just pick up all these extra carrots that we have them on. There we go. Just move everything out of the way. There we go. So we're good with that. We got these guys done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my grizzly bears now because we need to get the fall mutation done. The grizzly bears are going in. Let's go ahead and spawn the Kappas in as well so we can get bloodlet done. We'll spawn in 2 Kappas here, get us bloodlet done pretty quick. And then we're also gonna go ahead and just get our gnome out of the way since we have quite a lot of gnomes here. He's got a pretty high % chance to get the gnome mutation done. And then after we get these guys done, we'll do our chicken zombies and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup, which should be pretty easy today since we got a lot of the AFK mutations done already. We just need our Spinos to work in overtime today because there's so many mutations they got to move over, dude. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and boost the Swan again. I didn't realize he was not boosted anymore, but that will give us the graceful mutation. And then our golden goose is also going to give us a fortune egg. Oh, thank you. You're placing it right next to our Spino platter. Thanks for your service. We'll enjoy your scrambled eggs. All right, I'm going to pick up the golden goose now. Let's get the graceful mutation done from our Swan. All right, we got to apply to a sugar apple. So one of these have graceful on them now. So the graceful is done. We can pick up our Swan. And now we have 2 extra pet slots. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in some chicken zombies to work on them to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And once we get pretty much all these pets done, then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So I'm going to wait around. I'm going to boost the grizzly bears here just to help them out. And then we're going to wait around, see what mutations we get it next and work towards that AFK setup so we can just get everything applied to our firewall. All right, so our Corrupt Kitsune is ready. Let's see if we get Foxfire, Corrupt Chakra. Okay, we got regular chakra on a bunch of stuff, including a sugar apple and some carrots. So we can go ahead and pick up these carrots since it's on a sugar apple over there with our other stuff. But yeah, there we go. All right, so Corrupt Chakra is done. We can go ahead and pick up our Corrupt Kitsune. I'm just going to go ahead and replace them, I guess, with our Spriggan so we get Bloom done. And that'll save some time. And then once our Grizzly Bears are done, we'll replace these with some more chicken zombies so we can make sure we get zombified done and out of the way. I think we're good. So now we just got to wait for our Kappas to give us Bloodlit, our Grizzly Bears to give us Fall, and then our Gnome just failed, but we'll wait to try and get Gnomed. And once our Spriggan gives us Bloom, which should be pretty easy, we can go ahead and get some more chicken zombies in here or just get ready for our AFK setup. Now, because we have so many of the mutations done today already, our AFK setup will probably be a lot smaller today, so we'll have to do the Junk Bot, of course, Corrupt Scarlet, Tranquil Scarlet, Griffin, and then just the Spaghetti slots. But we will have about 3 slots open for Spinosauruses. So whenever we get started on that, we can get 3 of our Spinos ready, and then they can just start moving everything over to our Firewell already, which will be really helpful. And hopefully we can get the Firewell with all the mutations done within a couple hours. But yeah, this thing is about to be actually crazy and maybe even maxed out. We might have almost all the mutations on it today, like actually. So this will be an interesting one. This thing better be worth a lot of money. You better make us proud, Firewell. All right, so one of our Grizzly Bears finally just applied the Fall mutation to one of our sugar apples. I don't know. There's so many sugar apples, dude, with so many mutations, but it's in there somewhere. But our Grizzly Bears are completed. They are done. So with that, I'm going to actually go ahead and spawn in a... not that, but I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and I'm going to spawn in my Queen Bee to help with some of these cooldowns so we can get the rest of these pets done, and then we'll get ready for our AFK grind pets. But our first 2 chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm going to go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the zombified mutation out of the way, and hopefully we can, because that would help us a lot, so we can get moving along, and then we could just get the Bloodlet mutation done, Gnome done, and Bloom, and then we could be ready for our AFK grind. I mean, we really don't need to get these guys. We can actually just include in our AFK grind, but it's easier if we get them done now. So there's less to look around for later in the mix of a million mutations. But Fall's at least done. We're going to see if we get the rest of these done. Hopefully we can get zombified done in the next 2 minutes, and we'll check back if we get it applied. If not, we're going to wait until we get something applied. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so my Kappas just went crazy, applied wet to a bunch of our carrots, and we finally got a Bloodlit carrot done from our Kappa. So we can go ahead and pick up these guys here, and we can go ahead and move this Bloodlit carrot into the mix over here. And dude, my Spinos are about to eat real good. There's so many mutations for them to eat over here. They're going to be sick to their stomachs. I mean, I'm sick to my stomach just looking at all these. They're going to have to unfavorite everything over here. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of these extra carrots here that have mutations on them to get some of the mutations that we don't need out of the way. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and plant some more for our Spriggan to have an easier time and some of our other pets. And that should be good. Now, hopefully we get Gnome done, and hopefully we can get Bloom done. I'm going to boost our Spriggan there to get him out of the way. But since we have 2 extra pet slots, I am going to spawn in another chicken zombie in the mix. Actually, I'm going to spawn in 2 more chicken zombies in the mix just so we can hopefully get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then once we get that done, hopefully we can get Bloom and Gnome done as well. That'd be very helpful. All right, our Spriggan should easily apply the Bloom mutation in just a second. There's so many carrots next to him. I don't think he can fail this. There's no way he fails this, right? And just to make sure, I'm going to actually throw some more carrots over here. Actually, he should be fine. Look at him. Yeah, there we go. There's plenty. All right. So we got some Bloom done on carrots here. I'm going to go ahead and pick him up, and we'll pick up a couple of these since we got like 4 of them done there. All right. I'm going to pick up this Bloom carrot here, move it into our platter. There we go. And our Spriggan is done. So now we really just have to focus on our chicken zombies giving us zombified, and if the Gnome can give us Gnomed, that would be nice as well. But I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another... Actually, we already spawned in all of our chicken zombies. So I'm going to spawn in a Mimic Octopus to help mimic the chicken zombies just in case, so we have all these opportunities to get the zombified mutation done. And as soon as we have it done, we're going to move on to our AFK setup, get the rest of our pets done while the Spinos transfer everything over to our Firewell and have the ultimate Firewell and grow a garden. Hopefully this thing is worth it and worth a lot of money. Hey, thank you so much for that. More chakra. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep unfavoriting all of our sugar apples. I already unfavorited a bunch of them, but that way our Spinos will be ready to munch them down and hopefully move the mutations over to our Firewell. All right, we finally got the Gnomed mutation done and applied to a sugar apple, so we're good to go. Now, I realized that we can actually just get ready for our AFK setup. Like, we could have just been doing it already, but I wanted to try to get those 2 done so we had more spots for Spinos to get all this moved over to our Firewell. But I think we're honestly fine, but I'm going to go ahead and just see real quick if we do get the zombified mutation from our chicken zombie here. If we don't, then that's fine. We're going to go ahead and just go for forward with doing our AFK setup. But let's just real quick see if Shano here will give us our zombified mutation. If so, that'll be a little bit better because we'll have a little bit more space for some Spinos. But let's just see our luck. Let's see if we're lucky enough today to get this done. Bro, that scared the heck out of me. That was so loud for a second there. It made me jump. Tornadoes are scary. All right, Shano, come on. Let's get zombified so we have some more space for AFKing with Spinos, please. All right, failed. All right, I don't like you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the other chicken zombies we have here then. And I mean, I guess I could boost these two just for an extra chance. I'll see if I get zombified, but if not, we're gonna go down to just one. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets spawned in. So we're gonna use the junk bot to get the oil mutation, corrupted scarlet for corrupt, tranquil scarlet for tranquil, griffin for cyclonic, and then we can get maelstrom and storm charge, and the aromatic spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation, of course, that it has on it. But then we get sauce, pasta, and meatball to get the spaghetti mutation, and that is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in our first mega spinosaurus here so it can start eating away at mutations and moving them over to our firewell. And we're gonna just see if we get zombified done. If we do, we're gonna spawn in 2 more spinos, but if we don't, we're gonna go ahead and just pick up one of these chicken zombies and spawn in an extra spino to replace one of these. But we'll see if we get it done. I'll be right back in 2 minutes to see if we get zombified done. All right, well, we did just get a frost event, which will probably ruin our chance to get ceramic done, but oh well, because our firewall here just got frozen. But let's see if we get zombified, maybe. Failed. What about you, Bella? Come on, Bella, please. Failed. All right, they both failed. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of them then. That's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in another mega spinosaurus here. And then once we come back, when we get a couple mutations done, we'll spawn in these other 2 spinos to help. But that will at least get things moving along so we get everything added to our firewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these carrots then, since these chicken zombies are failing us. And we're just gonna get all these out of the way so there's less mutations to worry about, or at least less mutated carrots for our spinos to eat off of, so they just focus on the fruits with actual mutations on them that we need. And there we go. We are now officially set up for our AFK setup. So we gotta wait to get zombified, oil, corrupt, tranquil, cyclonic, and then the 4 that the spaghetti sauce has, aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. And we're gonna wait for all those. Spinos will start moving everything over to our firewall, and we should come back to a maxed out firewall, and hopefully it'll be worth some good money. So yeah, let's go ahead and AFK and let our spinos eat away. All right, so we just got back from AFKing. We let all of the rest of our pets get their mutations done, and we let all of our spinos actually move those mutations to our firewall. And now we're looking at this firewall with literally 49 mutations on this thing. But if we separate these things, we have even more than 49 mutations. So Cosmic would bring us to about 50 mutations, Spaghetti 52 mutations, Abyssal would be about 53 mutations, Infernal would bring us up to about, I think, 55, 56 mutations. I believe about 56 because there's a lot in that Infernal mutation. So Frozen would be at 57 mutations, Paradisal 58 mutations, Gloom 59 mutations, Maelstrom would bring us to about 61 mutations, Harmonized Chakra 62 mutations, Corrosive 63 mutations, and that is about it. So yeah, we'd be at about 63 mutations with this firewall with everything spread out. So this is definitely one of our most mutated plants. We pretty much have gotten every single mutation in Grow a Garden on this firewall. I guess the only ones we really didn't get is like Ascended Chakra, and we still need to try to get Amber on it, but this thing is literally insane and has so many mutations. It better be worth a lot of money, dude. All right, but without further ado, I'm gonna actually use a magnifying glass on this thing first to see the value of it with all these mutations on it, and then we're going to attempt to use our raptors to get the Amber mutation and see if the value will go any higher if we do get Amber on it. So without further ado, we're gonna use my magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so with all of these mutations on this thing is actually only worth 2 trillion. Don't forget that this thing actually has Dawnbound on it and some of the best mutations on it, like Cosmic and Abyssal. And it's only at 2 trillion, dude. That is actually crazy. I expected this to be way more because it has this many mutations on it. And this is one of the new rarest fruits in the game. We've gotten better valued fruits from stuff in the seed shop. So that's actually kind of insane that it's only worth 2 trillion. Let's see if we can get Amber on it though, and see if we can get it to be valued at a bigger amount. Now this thing might have actually been worth more if it was a bigger firewall, but we did get a lot of mutations on it, and it is still pretty big. So for this only being 2 trillion, I honestly did expect more, but let's go ahead and see if we can top it off by getting the Amber mutation. All right, and we did not get the Amber mutation. So we're just going to be at the 2 trillion value mark, which is honestly, I mean, it isn't bad, but for how much we did here, I feel like that we got kind of ripped off, maybe? Just like, look at this thing. But I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently about it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my firewall down right here. And then we're also going to go ahead and use some of our sugar apple seeds here. We do have sugar apples spawned over here, but we're gonna go ahead and actually plant some new ones since those have tons of mutations on them. And with that, we're gonna spawn in our apple gazelle pet, and we're also gonna spawn in our mandrakes. What we're gonna go ahead and do now is hit the grow all button on my main account here so we can get those sugar apples to grow in, and also our firewall. All right, and there we go. So here is the new firewall. These are actually pretty tiny, so we are gonna pick these up and we're gonna actually grow them in a second. But first, we're going to attempt to get the warp mutation with our apple gazelle. He's already boosted, so let's go ahead and pick up some of these sugar apples here. Surprisingly, we did not get the warp mutation from that, so let's go ahead and grow all again and then try that again. Sometimes this happens, but we should be able to get it within the next grow all or 2 grow alls. Let's see. Bro, why are we actually not getting the warp mutation? Usually we get it pretty quickly. Do they nerf this guy? I don't know. Seems to be about the same % chance. All right, let's keep trying. All right, we're still not getting it, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Just making sure we didn't get it like on anything else. Like maybe it's bugging out or something, but I don't see it on anything. So I think we're just having an issue here. All right, well, I guess I'll keep trying. Just give me a minute here. We should be able to get it in a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. There we go. Finally, we got the warp mutation to spread to one of our plants here. So it's on one of our sugar apples that's already established. So, all right, it just took a couple of tries today. Usually we get a lot faster, but our luck today, I guess, is just not very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up then, now that we're done with these sugar apples. All right, and let's go ahead and pick up our apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and get our mandrake seeds ready here with an advanced sprinkler and some watering cans. We're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down and try to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, there we go. We got the rot mutation to spread over here to one of our sugar apples. So that mutation is now done, and we can go ahead and pick up the rest of these mandrakes and get started with the actual plant here. All right, let me go ahead and sell all this stuff that's in my inventory. Get rid of these real quick, and let's pick up our mandrakes, and let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats here, at least 7 of them. People were saying they nerfed the mooncats, but actually the mooncats just had a bug and they fixed it in this update. So now our mooncats should actually work correctly. We're gonna spawn in a triceratops to help speed up the growth, and let's go ahead and pick up all these firewalls here, and let's go ahead and get our sprinklers down on this firewall plant. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Grandmaster sprinkler here, Master sprinkler, our Godly sprinkler, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. And I believe this is an autumn plant, so we don't have any fall sprinklers on this account. Let me go grab one on my main account real quick, and then we'll throw that in the mix. All right, there we go. We have a maple sprinkler added from our main account now, and now we should be able to get some pretty big firewalls here, and it's growing actually pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this right here and see if our mooncats will help boost this. There's a couple of them here, so hopefully that'll help give us a little bit of a mooncat boost. But now that we have all of our sprinklers down and we have our mooncats, we should be able to get a pretty big firewall, and then we can start getting all the mutations added to this thing. And we'll also get all of these extra admin mutations moved over to it as well, so we're gonna have a really expensive firewall today. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite these just so when we attempt to get the rainbow mutation done, we don't have to worry about these converting to rainbow over here, although we have a lot of these things that are mutated like crazy, so I'm gonna have to favorite like everything over here. All right, I got some more mooncats sleeping. We have a couple of them up here. Let me move this over here because there's like 3 of them right there, and then hopefully we get a pretty big one to grow in. These 2 are decent, but they're not as big as we definitely could get it. Can I move this, please? All right, so we're gonna let that do its thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and look through here, make sure we get everything favorited so we don't pick anything up. There are so many sugar apples in here that we're gonna have to favorite and make sure are safe. All right, sorry, I'm multitasking here, but I'm gonna keep moving this into the pile of mooncats to try and get a big firewall to grow in. This dude is hitting the sugar apples. That doesn't really help us out, but sure, thanks, man. All right, so I'm gonna wait for a big firewall to grow in. I'm gonna keep favoriting all these sugar apples because there's actually so many. Once we get a pretty big firewall to grow in, we'll come back, get rainbow on it, and then start getting all the mutations. There's just so many plants today. The admin event really is slowing me down because there's so many things I gotta favorite, and I'm gonna have to unfavorite all of them later. So just give me a minute. I'm gonna come back once we have a big firewall and all this is favorited to save some time. All right, so we are back, and we actually got blessed today because we got rainbow firewalls, and also these things grew way bigger than I thought they were going to. So yeah, this one that's actually the biggest one is surprisingly rainbow, so we don't have to go through the whole process of waiting for our butterfly to do its magic on it. So that's actually crazy that we got a rainbow on our first try, and I just spent all that time favoriting all of our fruits so the butterfly wouldn't eat it and eat all the mutations and move them over here. So we actually got really lucky, but now I have to sit here and unfavorite all of them. But I'll do that in a little bit when we're gonna get ready for our Spinos. But anyways, yeah, so we have our big firewall here. It is already rainbow rainbow, which saves us some time, so we don't have to sit here and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly and do all that stuff. So we're good with that. We can go ahead and actually start getting some mutations applied to this thing right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through my sprays here. I do need to get pollinated on this. We're gonna put that. We do have chocolate actually added over there, and windstruck is actually in the mix over here as well. We have tempestuous on plenty of fruits, so we can save those today. We are gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down though, and add this onto there so we can get the honey glaze mutation. There we go. And then on our main account here, we're going to add the glimmering spray, the cloud touch spray, and the luminous spray. And we also just had our main account's Kitsune apply the chakra mutation in one of the sugar apples over here, or the carrots. So that's an extra mutation done as well. But there we go. Now we have some extra mutations added to our firewall. It looks all beautiful and shiny. But we have 6 mutations on there from sprays, and we are good to go with that. We also don't need verdant, which I would normally spray that, but we already have the verdant mutation applied over here on one of our sugar apples, so we are fine, and we can save the verdant spray as well today. So yeah, a lot of our work was done from the admin events, which is actually crazy. So I am going to go ahead though and spawn in a carrot seed right here, and we're going to use our main account to spray the carrot with the shocked mutation spray. Okay, there we go. And now that we have a shocked carrot here, we can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, and he is going to eat this carrot and then apply the static mutation around the area to maybe the sugar apples or our firewall, or maybe some more carrots, because I am going to place a couple more down here, so that way we can get the static mutation. That will be used for storm charge or maelstrom later. Since he spawned in, we can go ahead and start getting all of our guaranteed mutation pets done and out of the way as well. So let's go ahead and spawn in our golden goose so we can get a fortune egg set. And let me just go through the mix here. We need our phoenix so we can get the flaming mutation done. We don't need our pterodactyl because we already have tempestuous. And we don't need glimmering spray because we already have the glimmering spray applied, or the luminous spray. We don't need that as well because we have that spray. We're gonna spawn in the cockatrice though for the toxic mutation. We do need our corrupt kitsune for the corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra mutation today. I believe we actually need some jackalopes because we did not get the sandy mutation applied to anything from what I've seen. So we're gonna spawn in 2 jackalopes. We don't need our peach wasp today, so we can save that. We do need our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation done, so we're spawning him in. And I'm just trying to go down the list because my brain's just not working today, dude. There's so many mutations that we already got, so my head is just like not there. So I'm trying to remember like what we need because everything's kind of mixed today. It's different from our normal arrangement of pets. So let's wait for these pets to get done, get these mutations, and then we'll swap out with some new ones. But I'm gonna make sure I get all my other guaranteed-ish pets done. All right, I think we're good. I think I have everything ready in my hotbar now that I need to for our guaranteed pets. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and boost these jackalopes. So that one's already boosted, but I'm gonna boost this one. We're gonna get the sandy mutation done. Once sandy's done, we're actually gonna spawn in our swan and our badger so we can get cracked and we can get graceful done. And then I'm gonna also need a couple more toys so I can boost some of these other guaranteed pets, get them done a little bit faster. So I'm gonna gift myself some more pets. I mean, some more toys. Bro, I literally can't think today. My brain is like completely fried. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. This is not my normal mutation video, all right? There's so much going on today. My head hurts. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and boost the Raiju as well to save some time there. And let's just see if we can get the jackalopes done and get sandy. Once we get sandy, we can swap out with 2 of these guys down here. Failed. What about the other one? Failed. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit here to get sandy. I'm gonna give myself some more toys. So we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see what mutation we get done next. So I'll be right back. All right, we are good. I got some toys, and some of our pets are going to apply their mutation. So we're gonna have the lemon lion give us the brain rot mutation, and we can swap him out for our swan. And we're gonna also boost some of these other guys. So let's boost the phoenix to get him done and out of the way. Let's boost the cockatrice to get him out of the way, and we can also boost the golden goose, and that should save us a couple minutes for those guys. And our jackalopes are still trying to apply sandy, so hopefully we can get that done pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, first pet to give us a guaranteed mutation today is the lemon lion. He has a pretty quick cooldown, so that saves us some time here. We can swap him out. All right, there we go. We have the brain rot mutation applied to a sugar apple, so he is done with his job. Pick him up, and we're gonna actually replace him with the swan because the swan is the next guaranteed mutation. We get graceful every 5 minutes, so that will help us out there. And phoenix is going next. We got the flaming mutation on a bunch of our sugar apples, and I think some of our carrots. So phoenix is done. We can get rid of him. And I'm gonna go ahead and replace the phoenix with, I guess, the giant badger so we can get the crack mutation done since he goes pretty quickly. I'm also gonna get some more carrot seeds ready so when we spawn in our kappas, we can get bloodlet done a little bit faster. All right, so our Raiju will be next, and then our cockatrice, but our Raiju will eat this shocked carrot and then apply static to a ton of stuff, probably just our other carrots since we have so many spawned in now. And then once he's done, I guess I'll replace him with the kappas, or maybe the grizzly bears next. next so we can get fall done. And then hopefully these jackalopes hurry up, bro, and give us Sandy. We got to get these guys out of the way, dude. But, oh, our giant badger will be done as well with the Raiju, and then also our cockatrice. So we'll have some more spots. We can throw some grizzly bears in here, the kappas, and get those mutations done. But, all right, Raiju, come eat the shock carrot, buddy. Don't eat. I hope I didn't forget to favorite something over there. He's gonna eat that. All right, good. I think we're good. He's targeting. Uh-oh. What did he just eat? Bro, you just ate one of my good carrots, I think. Or actually, no, I think he ate it from a apple that I didn't favorite because these are all favorited. All right, well, that's fine. We got static done. I don't even know what he just ate, bro. There's so many mutations. My head hurts. All right, and we just got toxic done on some more carrots. I believe this one. Did this one just get toxic on it? One of these I thought just got toxic done. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But the jackalope did just apply Sandy as well. And then our badger is going to apply the cracked mutation to a bunch of stuff, which he just did to this one. So we are good. All right, so Raiju's done. Cockatrice is done. Jackalopes are done because we just got Sandy, and badgers done with cracked. So we are good. We just got a bunch of mutations done out of the way. I am going to move. I don't know what carrots we got toxic on, so I'm just going to throw this one over here. And we just got 24 fruits with the cracked mutation, bro. We didn't even need that many, but thanks for your service, I guess. That works. I'm going to pick up some of these carrots to get them out of the way. We actually did get cracked directly on our firewall, so we really don't need cracked on anything else. I might as well just pick up all these extra carrots that we have them on. There we go. Just move everything out of the way. There we go. So we're good with that. We got these guys done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my grizzly bears now because we need to get the fall mutation done. The grizzly bears are going in. Let's go ahead and spawn the kappas in as well so we can get bloodlet done. We'll spawn in 2 kappas here, get us bloodlet done pretty quick. And then we're also gonna go ahead and just get our gnome out of the way since we have quite a lot of gnomes here. He's got a pretty high % chance to get the gnome mutation done. And then after we get these guys done, we'll do our chicken zombies, and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup, which should be pretty easy today since we got a lot of the AFK mutations done already. We just need our Spinos to work in overtime today because there's so many mutations they got to move over, dude. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and boost the swan again. I didn't realize he was not boosted anymore, but that will give us the graceful mutation. And then our golden goose is also going to give us a fortune egg. Oh, thank you. You're placing it right next to our Spino platter. Thanks for your service. We'll enjoy your scrambled eggs. All right, I'm going to pick up the golden goose now. Let's get the graceful mutation done from our swan. All right, we got to apply to a sugar apple. So one of these have graceful on them now. So the graceful is done. We can pick up our swan. And now we have 2 extra pet slots. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in some chicken zombies to work on them to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And once we get pretty much all these pets done, then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So I'm going to wait around. I'm going to boost the grizzly bears here just to help them out. And then we're going to wait around, see what mutations we get next, and work towards that AFK setup so we can just get everything applied to our firewall. All right, so our Krupp Kitsune is ready. Let's see if we get Foxfire Krupp Chakra. Okay, we got regular chakra on a bunch of stuff, including a sugar apple and some carrots. So we can go ahead and pick up these carrots since it's on a sugar apple over there with our other stuff. But yeah, there we go. All right, so Krupp Chakra is done. We can go ahead and pick up our Krupp Kitsune. I'm just going to go ahead and replace them, I guess, with our Spriggans. We get Bloom done, and that'll save some time. And then once our grizzly bears are done, we'll replace these with some more chicken zombies so we can make sure we get zombified done and out of the way. I think we're good. So now we just got to wait for our kappas to give us bloodlet, our grizzly bears to give us fall, and then our gnome just failed, but we'll wait to try and get gnomed. And once our Spriggan gives us bloom, which should be pretty easy, we can go ahead and get some more chicken zombies in here or just get ready for our AFK setup. Now, because we have so many of the mutations done today already, our AFK setup will probably be a lot smaller today, so we'll have to do the junk bot, of course, Krupp Scarlet, Tranquil Scarlet, Griffin, and then just the spaghetti slots. But we will have about 3 slots open for Spinosauruses. So whenever we get started on that, we can get 3 of our Spinos ready, and then they can just start moving everything over to our firewall already, which will be really helpful. And hopefully we can get the firewall with all the mutations done within a couple hours. But yeah, this thing is about to be actually crazy and maybe even maxed out. We might have almost all the mutations on it today, like actually. So this will be an interesting one. This thing better be worth a lot of money. You better make us proud, firewall. All right, so one of our grizzly bears finally just applied the fall mutation to one of our sugar apples. I don't know. There's so many sugar apples too with so many mutations, but it's in there somewhere. But our grizzly bears are completed. They are done. So with that, I'm going to actually go ahead and spawn in a... not that, but I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and I'm going to spawn in my queen bee to help with some of these cooldowns so we can get the rest of these pets done, and then we'll get ready for our AFK grind pets. But our first 2 chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm going to go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the zombified mutation out of the way, and hopefully we can, because that would help us a lot, so we can get moving along, and then we could just get the bloodlet mutation done, gnome done, and bloom, and then we could be ready for our AFK grind. I mean, we really don't need to get these guys. We can actually just include in our AFK grind, but it's easier if we get them done now. So there's less to look around for later in the mix of a million mutations. But fall's at least done. We're going to see if we get the rest of these done. Hopefully we can get zombified done in the next 2 minutes, and we'll check back if we get it applied. If not, we're going to wait until we get something applied. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so my Kappas just went crazy, applied wet to a bunch of our carrots, and we finally got a bloodlet carrot done from our Kappa. So we can go ahead and pick up these guys here, and we can go ahead and move this bloodlet carrot into the mix over here. And dude, my Spinos are about to eat real good. There's so many mutations for them to eat over here. They're going to be sick to their stomachs. I mean, I'm sick to my stomach just looking at all these. They're going to have to unfavorite everything over here. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of these extra carrots here that have mutations on them to get some of the mutations that we don't need out of the way. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and plant some more for our Spriggan to have an easier time and some of our other pets. And that should be good. Now, hopefully we get Gnome done, and hopefully we can get Bloom done. I'm going to boost our Spriggan there to get him out of the way. But since we have 2 extra pet slots, I am going to spawn in another chicken zombie in the mix. Actually, I'm going to spawn in 2 more chicken zombies in the mix just so we can hopefully get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then once we get that done, hopefully we can get Bloom and Gnome done as well. That'd be very helpful. All right, our Spriggan should easily apply the blue mutation in just a second. There's so many carrots next to him. I don't think he can fail this. There's no way he fails this, right? And just to make sure, I'm going to actually throw some more carrots over here. Actually, he should be fine. Look at him. Yeah, there we go. There's plenty. All right. So we got some Bloom done on carrots here. I'm going to go ahead and pick him up, and we'll pick up a couple of these since we got like 4 of them done there. All right. I'm going to pick up this Bloom carrot here, move it into our platter. There we go. And our Spriggan is done. So now we really just have to focus on our chicken zombies giving us zombified. And if the Gnome can give us Gnome, that would be nice as well. But I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another. Actually, we already spawned in all of our chicken zombies. So I'm going to spawn in a Mimic Octopus to help mimic the chicken zombies just in case. So we have all these opportunities to get the zombified mutation done. And as soon as we have it done, we're going to move on to our AFK setup, get the rest of our pets done while the Spinos transfer everything over to our Firewell and have the ultimate Firewell and grow a garden. Hopefully this thing is worth it and worth a lot of money. Hey, thank you so much for that. More chakra. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep unfavoriting all of our sugar apples. I already unfavorited a bunch of them, but that way our Spinos will be ready to munch them down and hopefully move the mutations over to our Firewell. All right, we finally got the gnomed mutation done and applied to a sugar apple, so we're good to go. Now, I realized that we can actually just get ready for our AFK setup. Like, we could have just been doing it already, but I wanted to try to get those 2 done so we had more spots for Spinos to get all this moved over to our Firewell. But I think we're honestly fine, but I'm going to go ahead and just see real quick if we do get the zombified mutation from our chicken zombie here. If we don't, then that's fine. We're going to go ahead and just go forward with doing our AFK setup. But let's just real quick see if Shano here will give us our zombified mutation. If so, that'll be a little bit better because we'll have a little bit more space for some Spinos. But let's just see our luck. Let's see if we're lucky enough today to get this done. Bro, that scared the heck out of me. That was so loud for a second there. It made me jump. Tornadoes are scary. All right, Shano, come on. Let's get zombified so we have some more space for AFKing with Spinos, please. All right, failed. All right, I don't like you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the other chicken zombies we have here then. And I mean, I guess I could boost these 2 just for an extra chance. I'll see if I get zombified, but if not, we're gonna go down to just 1. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets spawned in. So we're gonna use the junk bot to get the oil mutation, corrupted scarlet for corrupt, tranquil scarlet for tranquil, griffin for cyclonic, and then we can get maelstrom and storm charge, and the aromatic spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation, of course, that it has on it. But then we get sauce, pasta, and meatball to get the spaghetti mutation, and that is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in our first Mega Spinosaurus here so it can start eating away at mutations and moving them over to our Firewell. And we're gonna just see if we get zombified done. If we do, we're gonna spawn in 2 more Spinos, but if we don't, we're gonna go ahead and just pick up 1 of these chicken zombies and spawn in an extra Spino to replace 1 of these. But we'll see if we get it done. I'll be right back in 2 minutes to see if we get zombified done. All right, well, we did just get a frost event, which will probably ruin our chance to get ceramic done, but oh well, because our Firewell here just got frozen. But let's see if we get zombified, maybe. Failed. What about you, Bella? Come on, Bella, please. Failed. All right, they both failed. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up 1 of them then. That's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in another Mega Spinosaurus here. And then once we come back, when we get a couple mutations done, we'll spawn in these other 2 Spinos to help. But that will at least get things moving along so we get everything added to our Firewell. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these carrots then, since these chicken zombies are failing us. And we're just gonna get all these out of the way. So there's less mutations to worry about, or at least less mutated carrots for our Spinos to eat off of. So they just focus on the fruits with actual mutations on them that we need. And there we go. We are are now officially set up for our AFK setup. So we gotta wait to get zombified, oil, corrupt, tranquil, cyclonic, and then the 4 that the spaghetti sauce has, aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. And we're gonna wait for all those. Spinos will start moving everything over to our firewell, and we should come back to a maxed out firewell, and hopefully it'll be worth some good money. So yeah, let's go ahead and AFK and let our Spinos eat away. All right, so we just got back from AFKing. We let all of the rest of our pets get their mutations done, and we let all of our Spinos actually move those mutations to our firewell. And now we're looking at this firewell with literally 49 mutations on this thing. But if we separate these things, we have even more than 49 mutations. So Cosmic would bring us to about 50 mutations, Spaghetti 52 mutations, Abyssal would be about 53 mutations, Infernal would bring us up to about, I think 55, 56 mutations. I believe about 56 because there's a lot in that Infernal mutation. So Frozen would be at 57 mutations, Paradisal 58 mutations, Gloom 59 mutations, Maelstrom would bring us to about 61 mutations, Harmonized Chakra 62 mutations, Corrosive 63 mutations, and that is about it. So yeah, we'd be at about 63 mutations with this firewall with everything spread out. So this is definitely one of our most mutated plants. We pretty much have gotten every single mutation in Grow a Garden on this firewall. I guess the only ones we really didn't get is like Ascended Chakra, and we still need to try to get Amber on it, but this thing is literally insane and has so many mutations. It better be worth a lot of money, dude. All right, but without further ado, I'm gonna actually use a magnifying glass on this thing first to see the value of it with all these mutations on it, and then we're going to attempt to use our raptors to get the Amber mutation and see if the value will go any higher if we do get Amber on it. So without further ado, we're gonna use my magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so with all of these mutations on this thing is actually only worth 2 trillion. Don't forget that this thing actually has Dawnbound on it and some of the best mutations on it like Cosmic and Abyssal. And it's only at 2 trillion, dude. That is actually crazy. I expected this to be way more because it has this many mutations on it. And this is one of the new rarest fruits in the game. We've gotten better valued fruits from stuff in the seed shop. So that's actually kind of insane that it's only worth 2 trillion. Let's see if we can get Amber on it though and see if we can get it to be valued at a bigger amount. Now this thing might have actually been worth more if it was a bigger firewall, but we did get a lot of mutations on it and it is still pretty big. So for this only being 2 trillion, I honestly did expect more, but let's go ahead and see if we can top it off by getting the Amber mutation. All right, and we did not get the Amber mutation. So we're just going to be at the 2 trillion value mark, which is honestly, I mean, it isn't bad, but for how much we did here, I feel like that we got kind of ripped off, maybe. Just like, look at this thing. But I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently about it. I'm going to spawn in a Triceratops as this guy helps our plants grow. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is wait for the Triceratops cooldown to be really low. And once it starts getting lower, I'm going to go ahead and plant all of my sprinklers down and then plant a bunch of bamboo seeds. That way we can see if this guy will actually take effect and hit bamboo. All right, so my mooncats are about to do their thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some bamboo seeds down really quick. Just plant a ton of them like right in the spot just to see if any of our mooncats will hit. We're going to go ahead and put the master sprinkler down. Godly sprinkler, advanced sprinkler, and a basic sprinkler. Our mooncats here are sleeping. The Triceratops is... Are you kidding me, dude? He's stuck. He literally just gave up. Okay, well, all right, here we go. We got a pretty big bamboo here. This should be our one that we're gonna go with. Let's go ahead and move it over to the sprinklers. And I guess I'll go ahead and get rid of these other pieces here. All right, yeah, this one looks pretty good. So I think we're good. The Triceratops didn't really help because these things grow so fast. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these cats. Let's go ahead and add some mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get this thing to turn rainbow. So I'm gonna spray it with chocolate. Okay, so we sprayed it with chocolate. A Tranquil event just spawned in. So we have Tranquil now. That's 2 mutations. I'm going to save these sprays. We'll do Pollinated. We'll do Shocked. And then we'll also do Honey Sprinkler for Honey Glaze. There we go. That's 5 mutations added onto our bamboo. And now we're going to get this thing rainbow. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is spawn in one of our queen bees here. And spawn in a butterfly. Since the queen bee's cooldown is about 6-7 minutes shorter than the butterflies, the queen bee will cool down the butterfly faster, and then the butterfly will take all 5 of these mutations, convert it to rainbow. I'm also going to spawn in a queen bee on my main account, and then we're going to spawn in our Kitsune, so that way we can get the chakra mutation to be applied to our bamboo. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do actually is I'm going to plant a couple carrots down. So that way one of these should get tranquil on it. And once we get a tranquil carrot, that way we can keep that and then we can use our T-Rex or our Spinosaurus to actually eat it and then move that over to our bamboo. The only reason I'm doing that is because in the next hour, we're gonna have a corrupt event and we're gonna have to wait like another 2 hours for another tranquil event since these swap every 3 hours or so. So we're gonna make sure we get a carrot set with tranquil on it, so then it'll be easier to move that over to our bamboo once we have rainbow on it. Because once we have rainbow, that tranquil is going to be gone, and we do need 5 mutations to get rainbow. All right, the magic is going to happen now. Our queen bee's cooldown is about done, and she will now cool down our butterfly since our butterfly has the longest cooldown. All right, there we go. Butterfly's cooldown will be ready now, and now the butterfly will take these mutations and convert it to rainbow. And there we go. Now our bamboo is officially rainbow. So we go ahead and favorite that so we don't pick it up. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up our butterfly and our queen bee. Our Spinosaurus in just a minute should come over here and eat these mutations off the carrot and then move them to the bamboo. Hopefully it will just focus on tranquil so we can move it to our rainbow bamboo here. And then we're going to go ahead and apply pollinated back onto this guy. And we do have a wet spray, so I'm going to apply this. Even though our kappas would normally apply it, I'm going to apply it to our bamboo to hopefully speed up the process to get this thing bloodlit because the kappas convert wet into bloodlit. So we're going to go ahead and just apply that. Oh, and here comes our Kitsune. It should hopefully target... Okay, good. It's targeting the bamboo. I thought it might target the carrot for a second. But there we go. Our bamboo is now chakra as well. And we have wet, which we're going to try to convert that wet to bloodlit. We're going to add shocked onto this. We're going to add chocolate onto that. We're going to add a honey sprinkler back down here so we can get that back to honey glazed. And that gives us 7 mutations currently. Then our main account is going to add the cloud touch spray. So I'm going to go ahead and spray from back over there. And then I'm also going to actually add the verdant spray onto this today, just because that way we don't have to use our scarlets at all. That will save some time. We're now up to 9 mutations already. And with that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in some of our other pets to start doing some stuff for us here. So we're going to spawn in 2 disco bees to get that disco mutation applied. We'll spawn in 2 cooked owls to get cooked or burnt applied. Actually, you know what? We're going to take one of these cooked owls for now, and then we're going to spawn in 1 chicken zombie, but we have some other pets we want to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a pterodactyl. So this guy will either give us windstruck or he'll give us windstruck and twisted. Hopefully he gives us windstruck and twisted so we can get tempestuous so we don't have to wait for a tornado to show up. So we're going to spawn him in. We're going to go ahead and spawn in 2 kappas so we can try to get this wet to convert to bloodlit. And that is max pet slots for now. So we should be good. All right, so I just got back. Let me just take a quick look at what happened when I was gone. The only thing that's really happened is our pterodactyl applied windstruck onto our bamboo, but we did not get tempestuous. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl for the moment. I think what I'm gonna do next is I will spawn in a Raju here, and this guy can give us the shock mutation, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this carrot seed down like right here, and then I'm going to apply the shocked spray to it. So that way this Raiju will take the shocked carrot, eat it, and then it will turn it into static and then apply static to our bamboo. Okay, our cooked owl just applied burnt to the carrot. So I guess we'll see if our Spinosaurus converts that over to our bamboo as well. So now we have burnt and tranquil over there. But otherwise, we'll just leave our cooked owl out for now to hopefully increase our chances of getting burnt put onto our bamboo. Disco be applied, disco to carrot. So this carrot is literally getting more mutations over here, basically, than our bamboo. All right, our Raiju here should go ahead and eat this shocked carrot over here and then apply it to our bamboo. I'm gonna go ahead and move this closer just so it's easier for him. All right, there we go. Carrot is getting yoinked. And now we have static applied to this carrot, but also to our bamboo here. So now we have static on the bamboo, which is another mutation down. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our Raiju here, and I'm gonna replace him with a corrupted Kitsune. That way we can get corrupted chakra or corrupted foxfire chakra applied to our bamboo. And then we can also get our chakra that's on it converted to harmonized chakra. All right, I'm actually gonna go ahead and swap up the strat here a little bit to save some time in the long run. So I know I said I'm going to keep my disco bees around and this cooked owl to just try and apply burnt and disco to my bamboo. But again, since we already got it on this carrot, we might as well just stack up on our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes. So that way they can eat all of these mutations and just move them over to our bamboo. We have 2 Spinosauruses, and if we get 2 T-Rexes, then that means within 20 minutes we can move 4 of these over. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these disco bees and just get them out of the way, and this cooked owl, and then we're gonna spawn in 2 T-Rexes here, so that way our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes will work together to eat from this fruit and apply these mutations to our favorited fruit here, the bamboo. And then with that extra pet slot we have, we're gonna just spawn in another chicken zombie to try and speed up the process to getting zombified. Oh, what the heck? It's Tranquility again? There's Tranquility 2 times in a row already, so I thought we were going to get Corrupt for sure. And which means that this is guaranteed now to get Tranquil. All right, our T-Rexes are both about to be done with their cooldowns. Hopefully they just eat Burnt and Disco so we can get that moved over to our bamboo. Otherwise, we have to wait for the next round of our Spinosauruses to eat those. These will at least knock out 2 of them, so let's see which ones they eat from the carrot. Please be the 2 that we need. Okay. Looks like they ate Burnt, and then they try to eat Static or something, but for some reason Static is still on it. But they did eat Burnt, so Burnt is good and out of the way. So yeah, I guess we still have to wait for our Spinosauruses to eat the rest of them. But yeah, we just need at least Disco. Okay, perfect. Our chicken zombie just applied zombified to our bamboo, which is another mutation done and out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the chicken zombies here, get those guys out of the way, and then we could get all these Spinosauruses and T-Rexes out of the way once they eat Disco. But since we have 2 extra slots here, what I'm gonna try to go ahead and do is spawn in that pterodactyl again. So that way we can try to get this guy to apply Tempestuous to our carrot so we don't need to wait for tornadoes, and then these guys can move Tempestuous over to the bamboo. So we'll try and do that. We'll see if he is successful with that. And then since the Kappa always takes forever to apply Bloodlet and it's usually hit or miss, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 Tanuki. Now this guy has a chance to actually freeze over our bamboo and then turn the bamboo to frozen, which would then ruin our chance to get Bloodlet from the Kappa turning wet to Bloodlet. But at this rate, I'm just gonna say let the best man win, either the Tanuki or the Kappa, to get this thing to frozen or Bloodlet. The Tanuki will also help us get Moonlit as well applied to our bamboo. Okay, our Spinosaurus ate the Disco from our carrot and applied it to the bamboo. So now we have Disco on our bamboo and we're good to go with that one. So we're gonna wait for the pterodactyl to see if it actually applies Twisted. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this carrot. I'm gonna plant another one. So I'm gonna plant this one here. We'll see if the pterodactyl is able to apply Windstruck and Twisted onto this, and then we'll let these guys convert that over in just a little bit. And then I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in my other Kappa again to try and get this thing Bloodlit. We will spawn in our other Tanuki to try to get this thing Moonlit. And then just in case we don't get a Corrupted event, I guess I'll spawn in my Corrupted Scarlet Macaw so we can try to get Corrupted added to this bamboo as well. Oh, and wow, actually the Tanuki was really quick today and just got us Moonlit done, so we can actually get rid of these guys. So thank you, Tanuki, for that. All right, our pterodactyl just striked, and it looks like it did get one of our carrots tempestuous. So we can go ahead and pick up these carrots, and then we'll move this tempestuous carrot over here. But actually, I'm gonna move it like over here, so our Spinosaurus just kind of hover the middle. And once they are ready with their cooldowns, they're gonna go ahead and eat that mutation off the carrot, and then move it over to our bamboo. So our bamboo will be tempestuous, so we don't need to wait for a tornado. All right, so we have a bunch of pets that are about to be done with their cooldowns here. So our Scarlet, well, is probably going to try to apply Verdant to this carrot. Let's see. Oh, actually, he was trying to apply Corrupt, but he failed. Okay, and then our Spinosauruses are about done with their cooldown, so they should move this Tempestuous over to our bamboo. And we also have our Corrupted Kitsune that will hopefully this time apply Corrupted Chakra to our bamboo. So he's coming back over here. Let's see. Hopefully his 20% chance works right now. Please. Okay, well, he put it onto this carrot again. I'm just going to let the Spinosauruses move that over. All right, so Spinosaurus number 1 ate Tempestuous, and now that is added to our bamboo. And Spinosaurus number 2 should go ahead and eat that Corrupt Chakra. All right, there we go. and then that's applied, and that gives us Tempestuous onto our bamboo and also Harmonized Chakra. So those are some more mutations done. So I'm gonna go ahead now and pick up these T-Rexes and Spinosauruses. I kind of went all out and put them all back down just so we wouldn't miss any mutations, but we don't need them now. We don't need this corrupted Kitsune anymore. We pretty much only need these Kappas to still try and convert wet to bloodlet, so we'll see if they even do that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in, I guess, that corrupted Scarlet back in, just in case we don't get a corrupted event, to try and apply corrupted to our bamboo. Okay, well, I guess I missed it, but at some point, our corrupted Scarlet here actually applied the corrupt mutation onto our bamboo. We did not get a corrupt event, we just got another tranquil event. So I guess just a second ago, he applied corrupt. So that is good and out of the way. We're still waiting for these Kappas to see if they'll convert wet over to bloodlet. However, we do have a frost event going on right now, which possibly can turn wet into frozen. But at this rate, if it does, I mean, GG. Like, these guys have been here for like 2 or 3 hours now, just making their weird noises, and they have not yet converted wet to bloodlet. All right, so the Kappas after like 3 hours have not gotten us bloodlet, so I don't know if they can give you bloodlet if you already have moonlit on your plant, or if the chances are just very low. So let me know in the comments if you guys know if they won't give you bloodlet if you already have moonlit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use these polar bears to try and get that wet to convert to frozen. Let's see if any of them actually succeed at this. Okay, one of them succeeded, so now that wet is turned into frozen. And really the only mutations we would need left, Sandy, which would be ceramic, we're missing Aurora, Celestial, and then I want to turn Verdant into Paradisal. So I guess that's like 4 legit mutations left, but I don't think we're gonna have any luck getting a Celestial event anytime soon, so we can count that out of the picture. Auroras are very rare as well, so I think we can count that one out as well. I have a really hard time getting Sandy, so the last one really just be trying to get this thing to Paradisal, but we do have Verdant already applied to it. So to be honest, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just check the value of this thing with Steven, and I know if we had Paradisal, the amount would be a little bit higher, but it should be pretty close because we do have a total of 17 mutations on our bamboo. And if you spread out stuff like Tempestuous, we would have 18. If you spread out Harmonized Chakra, we would have 19. And overall, we do have a lot of good mutations here. So I think I am going to go ahead and just try and check the value of this and see how much we would get for this bamboo with 17 mutations. So I'm going to go ahead and just unfavorite it. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up, and I will keep that favorited in my inventory. But yeah, let's check with Steven how much this giant piece of bamboo with 17 mutations on it is worth. Without further ado, let's go ahead and ask Steven what the value of our bamboo is. 987 million, almost 1 billion, which I was actually hoping we would get in the billions. But I think if we just waited and we got a heatwave event and turned that Verdant into Paradisal, this thing would have easily hit the 1 billion mark. Plus, if we got the other legit mutations on it, like Celestial, Aurora, and Ceramic, this thing would have definitely passed the 1 billion mark, but I don't know if it would have hit 2 billion. I know it would have just at least been past 1 billion by a little bit, which is pretty good. But let me know what you guys think. Was this bamboo worth all the mutations on it? Let me know down in the comments below. And also make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next one. In today's Roblox Grow a Garden video, we are going to be attempting to get every single mutation on the new multi-trap seed, which I don't actually really know the value of this one, so I guess we're about to be surprised, but it does look cool. So we're gonna go ahead and place this down, and usually I would go ahead and start growing some extra sugar apples and use my apple gazelle to try to get the warp mutation. However, currently I think the apple gazelle is broken right now. A lot of people are still reporting that it's broken, and last video we had issues with trying to get warped. I'll pick up a couple sugar apples here just to see if we get anything, but looks like we usually only just get dupes, and it has a really hard time to give us anything else. So yeah, I believe the apple gazelle is still a bugged pet at the moment, which is unfortunate, so we might have to skip out on the warp mutation until it gets fixed. I did report that to Brighter, but I don't know when that's going to get fixed for us. All right, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and I guess just place some carrot seeds so we have some extra carrots here for mutations. Let's go ahead and also move this pancake stack back over here to where we're going to grow that multi-trap, so our mooncat will be ready for that. Even though the apple gazelle doesn't work, we can still put an advanced sprinkler over here, get our mandrakes to spawn in, and get the rot mutation done, because this actually still works at least. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place a couple of mandrake seeds here. We're gonna use a watering can, and then this should spread the rot mutation to something so we can at least get rot done. All right, there we go. We got it applied to a carrot. Got rot ready, so I'll throw that in there, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these mandrakes now. And to speed this up a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and head over here on my main account real quick. Oh, hey, look at that. We have a nighttime event, which is perfect for getting moonlit done now. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit grow all on my main account, and that will give us this multi-trap here. So we're gonna go ahead and just collect the heads off of this. And I'm also gonna real quick just throw a night staff down so we can get moonlit done for sure. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get my sprinklers ready on this multi-trap here. So let's go ahead and place our Grandmaster sprinkler down, do our master, godly, advanced, basic, and then we'll go ahead and get some mooncat spawned in here. And there we go. We just got the moonlit event applied to something. But all right, we got our mooncats to spawn in. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in one triceratops just to help hit this thing and to make it grow a little bit faster so we can get a big multi-trap head to grow on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this for a second, and we'll be back in just a minute when we have a big multi-trap here, because it's gonna probably take a couple minutes. So one sec. All right, so a little bit of time went by and we have our multi-traps done. So these look pretty good. Obviously, this one's the biggest one. It's literally like consuming my sugar apples over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this one and this, get one right here if I can. Can I? Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and travel this so it faces this way instead now, so we can see our sugar apples and stuff. But there you go. Here's our multi-trap. And first things first, we got to get it to become rainbows. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of these pets we have placed down. We're gonna go ahead and apply the cloud touch spray to it. Pollinated. We'll apply chocolate to it. I guess we'll use some, actually I'm gonna save some of these and go on my main account for the next couple ones. So let me grab some sprays on this account. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a windstruck on it, and then I guess finally I'm kind of getting low on sprays, and they moved them all. You can't really craft them anymore, which is annoying, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my honey glaze sprinkler, and now this should have, yeah, multiple mutations. We have 5, which is enough to convert this thing to rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee to get the cooldown started for this guy. So then that queen bee will cool down our butterfly, and the butterfly will take all of those mutations and convert that thing to rainbow, so that'll be good. All right, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna come over here on my main account. We're gonna spray this carrot right here with the shocked spray. So now I have this shocked carrot here, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my Raiju, and we're gonna start getting some of our guaranteed mutations done. So the Raiju will go ahead and eat that carrot, give us static on some other fruits. We'll go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion for brain rot. We'll spawn in a pterodactyl to get tempestuous done, cockatrice for toxic, Phoenix for flaming, the swan for graceful, and I believe that's all we can place down right now. Yeah, we're maxed out. So we're gonna wait to get some of these mutations done and start getting our guaranteed mutations done and out of the way, because our butterfly has the longest cooldown, so our queen bee will only target the butterfly, and we can get these guys out of the way before then and get a little bit ahead of the game here. So I'm also gonna go ahead and place down a couple more carrot seeds just so we have some more room to work with for mutations, and to make sure we, you know, when we get the static done, it'll actually apply to a carrot, because I'm sure some mutations will go on this multi-trap, but they're going to become rainbow, so we want to make sure we get as many as we can on carrots and sugar apples so we don't lose them when this becomes rainbow here. Let's go ahead and let these pets wait a couple minutes, and we'll be back when we get some mutations done. All right, our Kitsune for my main accounts over here are about to apply chakra to something, or Foxfire chakra. Okay, we got chakra done on a sugar apple, so we'll take that. We might still get Foxfire chakra, but at least that is done and out of the way. All right, so our swan's about to give us graceful, and our lemon lion's about to give us brain rot. Hopefully they don't apply to the multi-trap. I mean, if they do, they both only have like a 5-minute cooldown, so it should be fine. But hopefully they actually just apply it to some carrots, but let's see what they do here. All right, lemon lion. Okay, perfect. Carrot and graceful was applied to sugar apple, so perfect. We are done with our swan. We are done with our lemon lion. So another 2 pet slots we can go ahead and use. So I'm gonna move this carrot over here real quick. Can I place this down, please? I just realized there's a man face in there. That's scary. I'm being watched. Anyways, besides the man phase, let's go ahead and get our Badger down now to give us crack. That should be pretty quick. We're going to get our Mizuchi down as well to give us Azure. This one as well should be pretty quick. He has a really fast cooldown, and that's our other 2 slots taken for now. So we'll just wait until our other pets give us some more mutations. But Phoenix is next, so we can go and get Flaming done. All right, here comes the Flaming mutation. It's going to get on a bunch of stuff here. We got it on a multi-trap. We got on a ton of carrots, so we are good. Go ahead and pick up the Phoenix because he has done his job. And next will be Cracked, it looks like. So I'll go ahead and move this carrot over here. I believe he did get it on a sugar apple. Looks like there's one right there, but I guess, you know, doesn't hurt to have one extra one just in case. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, though, because it does have honey glaze on it, and we can save another honey glaze sprinkler. So I'm going to throw that in the mix over there, so we don't have to use that again. But I'm going to go ahead for now and place our golden goose so we can get that fortune egg out of the way. All right, our Badger is next. He's going to go ahead and give us the crack mutation. There we go. It's like already on a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. You've done your job, buddy. You've gotten us cracked on way more than we needed. Okay, there we go. We got toxic on a bunch of stuff now. So we can go ahead and throw one of these toxic carrots over there. Raiju just gave us static on some sugar apples and also some carrots. So there we go. Got some more mutations there, but Cockatrice is done. Pick him up. Raiju's done. Pick him up. Pterodactyl is next to give us Tempestuous. All right, we got it on a carrot. This one here, Tempestuous. So I'll go ahead and move this over here into the mix. So Pterodactyl's done as well. We can go ahead and boost this Mizuchi to give us a better chance for Azure, maybe. Maybe we'll get it done now. Let's see. Failed. Okay, well, that might take a little bit longer than the other ones, but there we go. We have a lot of pets done already, a lot of our guaranteed ones, so that's going to help us. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of these extra mutated carrots and stuff just to get them out of the way. All right, I think we're good. So everything, which is only this one carrot, is favorited, so that won't get targeted by our butterfly, and we have a lot of our pets done. So I'm going to go ahead and boost our queen bee so we can get rainbow done and out of the way a little bit faster, and then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 jackalopes to get Sandy done, and 2 of our grizzly bears to try and get fall done. And then next we'll focus on our Kappa, Spriggan, our disco bees, and our chicken zombies. And I'll also go through and just make sure there's nothing else that I'm missing. I'll dig through the whole list here. We gotta get our peach wasp done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and boost these grizzly bears because fall is usually a annoying one to get. It takes a while. So I'm gonna boost them, and I don't actually have any small pet toys. I thought I did. So medium ones will work for now, and jackalopes are both boosted now as well. Hopefully get Sandy done quick. Well, let's see if we get Azure done, maybe. Failed. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and wait a couple minutes here to get rainbow done, and then I guess we'll come back if we do end up getting Sandy or fall done. So we'll be back in a second. I just missed it. I was doing some crafting, but we did just get fall from our grizzly bears applied to one of our sugar apples, so these guys are done. Which one did you apply it to, or am I crazy? I swear I just saw fall. Where was fall? Oh, here it is, on this pollinated sugar apple. So we do have pollinated on here as well, so we can save that spray. But yeah, there we go. We have that done. Grizzly bears are done, out of the way. So I guess we'll get our peach wasp ready here to give us the plasma mutation, and now we're gonna go ahead and just let our queen bee cool down our butterfly, and hopefully I favorited everything that has 5 mutations plus, so we'll only target that multi-trap. Oh, well, I forgot I just spawned in my peach wasp. I should have waited, and now we have to wait longer for the butterfly. Okay. The queen bee, we don't even need the queen bee because the butterfly is just going to go for it. But at least we've been getting mutations done, so we're not really behind or anything. But, okay, I'm stupid and dumb. We already know this. But we did just get plasma done, so we don't have to wait for that now. That's good, right? So plasma's on this sugar apple here. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost this Masuchi then. And our peach wasp is done, so we can pick that up. That's still failing. And I don't even know if we got Sandy done. I wasn't paying attention because I was so shocked at myself for forgetting to not spawn in the peach wasp yet, but okay. At least one of our 25-minute cooldowns is done. I guess that's fine. It actually does save us some time in the end. Don't think we have gotten Sandy yet, so I'll go ahead and wait. In the meantime, though, we have gotten a lot of other stuff done. Okay, there we go. We just got Sandy done on a carrot, so that's perfect. And a sugar apple, so we have double Sandy for, I guess, ceramic, and maybe we can just get Sandy after that again. I don't know. Double Sandy is always good. We'll go ahead and keep both of those because we do have more Spinos now that I traded for, so we should be able to get all these mutations done just fine. But the jackalopes are done. Our golden goose is about to be done in another 2 minutes. Our butterfly still needs some time, obviously. Do the boosts work? Because he has a long cooldown, so yeah. Usually the longer the cooldown, the more the boost does. So I don't know if it's like a 20% speed boost or something. I don't know what the math is. My brain that doesn't do math, obviously. But all right, well, we're good with a lot of our pets here. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our Kappas here to start getting bloodlet done, and we'll go ahead and start spamming in some disco beasts here to get disco done because that's gonna take a while, and that is good. And then once we get our golden goose done, we can go ahead and throw in another disco bee, and we'll go ahead and throw some more Kappas in just a second. But we're pretty much almost done with all of our guaranteed pets already since we did them early. We do have to get our chicken zombies ready, so I'll get that. And I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that everything is done here in my inventory. Tempestuous, static, flaming, got brain rot, graceful, fall. Okay, I'm thinking to myself out loud, don't mind me. All right, we do need to still get our Krupp Kitsune done actually, so I'll spawn that in next instead of another disco bee because we got to get that guy done. Hopefully Mizuchi will give us the Azure mutation. Let's go ahead and reboost the golden goose. Give me that fortune egg, buddy. Thank you. Azure is still failing, but golden goose is done. I'll pick him up. Spawn in the Krupp Kitsune to get Krupp Chakra done. We're gonna move this fortune egg over here into our pile of mutations. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and just sweep through all of our fruits and make sure there is nothing, absolutely nothing else with multiple, or at least more than 5 mutations on it, because we really don't want to mess that up with our butterfly. It's already taken this long, so we want to get that guy out of the way. All right, so yeah, let's get this butterfly out of the way here. Let's finally get rainbow done. I'm gonna get some more carrots ready for our kappas because they need a lot of carrots to work with, or just fruits, so we can get bloodlet done fast. All right, butterfly is doing its thing. Are you doing it on the right plant? Or am I dumb? Did I? Okay, good. I did not miss anything. Our multi-trap is now a rainbow fruit, which is good multiplier. Last video, I thought Spinos would move the rainbow over, but I needed to use like the seedling pet or even like the sugar glider, and I didn't do that. And yeah, I'm dumb. Anyways, butterfly is done. Finally can pick up the butterfly, get that guy out of the way. We have rainbow done, so we can go ahead and favorite this here. And I guess the only spray we really need to reapply is chocolate onto it, and I guess cloud touched. We have pollinated and honey glaze over there, and then on our main account, we can go ahead and reapply. I'll walk over here so you can see me. Well, this thing is moving on my main account screen. He's like chomping. Anyways, I'll reapply luminous. I'll reapply shocked, which that's my last shock spray. No. And then I'll reapply glimmering. And I think that's it. I think we're good with the sprays. Yeah, luminous glimmering. Yeah. All right, cool. And next up will just be moving everything over with our Spinos once they're done. But all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost our kappas. We can get that out of the way. Maybe the Mizuchi will give us a Zor finally, and we'll also get another Disco Bee in here, I guess. All right, finally, we got a Zora applied to a carrot. We'll go ahead and, I guess, spawn in our Spriggan then, and one extra Disco Bee, so we get Bloom done and get Disco hopefully done a little bit faster. What carrot? This one? Oh, it's really cool, actually. I like that. That's a really cool mutation. Thank you, buddy. At this rate, we're just waiting to get Bloodlet, Disco, Corrupt Chakra. Oh, and we just got the regular Chakra again. Thanks for that. I guess I'll pick this one up since we already have it. And yeah, Bloom. So once we get these done, we'll get chicken zombies in here, and then we should be able to get ready for our AFK setup. So we should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and wait a couple minutes because it's probably gonna take a while to get Bloodlet done, and I'm gonna get our Disco Bees boosted to get Disco done, and we'll be back when some of these mutations will be getting completed again. So give me 1 minute here. Okay, well, our Kappas got lucky. They met up right here, and this guy applied wet over here. This one applied wet over here, but for some reason, they somehow met and both hit one carrot, so it became Bloodlet. I don't know exactly which one they hit. Was it one of these ones? I don't even know, dude. I have no idea which one they hit because they were so far away from each other. Or maybe something was already wet and they hit it over here. Bro, where's my Bloodlet carrot? I don't know. We have Bloodlet somewhere, though. That's all I know. So our Kappas are done. I'll go find that in a second. That's done, so we go ahead and pick up these Kappas. And our Disco Bees will be next. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in a couple more Disco Bees just to make our life a little bit easier to get this one done. Bro, where is this Bloodlet carrot? I have a Bloodlet carrot. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I'm normal. Or is it on the oh, it's the sugar apple. The sugar apple got Bloodlet because it was already wet from earlier. Okay. I thought it was a carrot, bro. I don't know. I have no brain power. I think there's a couple wet ones over here as well. Wet, nasty, nasty wet carrots, bro. That is good. I'm gonna go and reapply some of these so we get Bloom done from our Spriggan pretty easy. And maybe we can get Disco done. We have a couple of these Disco Bees almost done. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get it done. We usually take a couple tries, but maybe they'll like us today and we can get chicken zombies in here instead. All right, we have 3 Disco Bees about to be ready. One of these guys has to give us Disco, bro. I feel it in my veins right now that one of these guys are about to give us Disco. So let's see if one of them decide to like us. All right, first one's going. Failed. Oh yeah, look at that, dude. I felt it in my veins. The second one gave us Disco on a carrot. Thank you so much. We got Disco done. And bro, we got it twice. I'm telling you, I could feel it. I'm gonna go and pick this one up though, because we don't need 2 of them right now. Let's go ahead and pick these Disco Bees up. I felt it real nice in my veins. I was correct. And now we just gotta get Corrupt Chakra and the Bloom, and then we'll pretty much be ready for our AFK setup. But we do need to get zombified as well to make things a little bit better for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some chicken zombies here. We'll spawn in all 5 of these guys, and in the mix, I'm gonna go ahead and just spawn in my gnome to maybe get gnome done a little bit earlier, and that should be good. All right, so our Corrupt Kitsune is going to give us Corrupt Chakra or Foxfire Corrupt Chakra now. Let's see. Okay, we got it on a carrot, and that seems to be it, but that works for us. So let's go ahead and throw this over here in the mix, and I guess I'll go ahead and pick up the Corrupt Kitsune and replace that with the Griffin so we can try to get Cyclonic done early, because we do have a new AFK pet we're going to start using, which is my Fried Cooked Owl here. We're going to see if we can get Cooked done on anything and get Fried done as well. If we can, we can get the Sizzled mutation, but we'll go ahead and give this a shot because this one will take some time. Well, I don't know if we'll get it because Fried takes a while with that mutation shard, and also cooked. We usually never get. We always get burnt. Yeah, that one might be a pain in the butt, but we'll try it. We'll go ahead and throw it in the AFK mix and see if it helps at all, see if we can get it. We also did not AFK Dawnbound, so I gotta make sure I get this guy placed down so we can try and get Dawnbound done when we do our AFK setup. But we will focus on the first AFK pets and get those guys done. All right, so we should be able to get Bloom done now, and then I guess I'll use this extra slot for like maybe a Mimic Octopus or something so we can try and get Zombified done a little bit faster, or Cyclonic. But yeah, this should be done. This one's usually pretty easy. All right, yeah, there we go. We got it on a bunch of carrots here, so I'll go ahead and throw at least one of these over here in the mix, and we'll get Gloom. Can I please place this down? Can I? There we go. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and pick up the Spriggan, and I guess we'll throw in a Mimic Octopus just to maybe help get Zombified done a little bit faster. And I mean, I could go ahead and start with some of our AFK pets, but we already are kind of doing that. And I want to get Zombified out of the way first, because these AFK pets usually take a while, and that's why they're AFK pets. So yeah, we'll just do the Mimic Octopus for now to hopefully help with Zombified. Hopefully we get Gnome done, and then we'll be ready to AFK. So I'm going to go ahead and wait out this next few minutes, and hopefully we'll get Zombified done with one of these first chicken zombies. All right, let's see if any of these chicken zombies help us out and give us Zombified. Okay, first one failed. Okay, there we go. Second one, we got it on a carrot already, so that's perfect. We can actually just go ahead and pick up the rest of these guys then. And Zombified is done and out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up that Mimic Octopus there, and we're going to move this Zombified carrot into the mix over here. And we are pretty much ready for our AFK setup now. So I guess I'll go ahead and boost this Griffin to try and get Cyclonic done a little bit faster, but we're going to go ahead and get our AFK setup ready. So we do have Gnome for Gnomed, Griffin for Cyclonic, which could be Maelstrom and Storm Charge. We'll go ahead and get a Lobster in here for Molten, Meteoric, and that'll become Blazing and Infernal. Go ahead and get our Aromatic Spaghetti Sloth for Sauce, Pasta, and Meatballs to give us the Spaghetti mutation, and get the Aromatic Shard mutation from that. Get our Corrupted Scarlet Macaw in here, and I guess let's go ahead and see. We need to get our Junk Bot for the Oil mutation, and we do need to get our Tranquil Scarlet out as well. And I feel like I'm missing one of our AFK pets that I normally have in the mix. Oh, you know what? We got to get our Space Squirrel done. That's what it is. All right, so that will give us Void Touched, and then once these guys are done, we'll swap out with the Fried Cooked Owl to try to get Sizzled done, Scented Mooncat to get Dawnbound done, and then we'll also get some Spinos in here to start getting everything moved over to our big multi-trap plant. And we'll come back in a little bit, see what mutations we got, swap some pets out, and get this multi-trap to be a very, very nice multi-trap, very expensive multi-trap. And we'll also see if our Griffin gives us Cyclonic in the next minute. But obviously, if we skip ahead a little bit further than that, then you know we did not get Cyclonic this first round. Yeah, it's only been about a minute, but we got the Cyclonic mutation on 3 of our carrots. Our Griffin just saved us there, because now we can actually get our Scented Mooncat spawned in and work on getting Dawnbound, because that's actually going to take quite some time to get that. So we have 3 Cyclonic carrots. I'm only going to take 2 of these so we can get Maelstrom and Storm Charge, possibly, depending on what order we get that mixed in. So we'll go ahead and throw these over here. All right, we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and continue with our AFKing and hopefully get these mutations done pretty quickly. We AFK'd for about our first hour here, and while I was AFK, my game just died. Roblox disconnected me. I don't know if there's a new system in place where you can't like AFK. I mean, I know you can't, but I had an auto clicker going and it still made me disconnect, so I'm not sure what happened. But anyways, the only really mutation I've seen is that we got all the spaghetti ones done, but we still need aromatic, so we can't swap out our spaghetti sloth just yet, but we did get Tranquil done at least. So this one is like one of the only ones we got done, because I don't even know what time I disconnected. We also did get an Aurora a little bit ago, and we have another one going on now. So we did get Aurora mixed in here somewhere. Anyways, yeah, so our Mooncat has been completely reset, and I gotta wait a very long time still, which is not fun for me, but at least, hey, we got Tranquil done, so I can pick that guy up, and I think that was it. But we can at least get our first mega spot. Actually, no, we can't. We can't get that in here, because we gotta get our Fried Cooked Owl in here to try and give us Sizzled. So, still no Spinos yet, but hopefully that'll change soon. Hopefully we can actually get some of these other pets done this time and come back to a better setup here. I think to make it a little bit easier, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up all these carrots, because all the pets we have now aren't like a area effect mutation pet. They're all ones that will just directly apply to fruits. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just pick up all these carrots, get them out of the way, and that should help us a little bit, and we can just get everything applied to these carrots and those sugar apples. So I'll get all these out of the way, so it'll be a little bit easier for us later with the Spinos. But yeah, hopefully we can actually get some of these mutations done, because we didn't get any done since that broke did. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK now, and hopefully we come back to actually some mutations being done. All right, so we were still struggling a bit today after AFKing for another hour. The only mutations I've noticed that we got in the mix over here was the corrupt mutation on a sugar apple up here, so we could pick up our corrupted scarlet. We also did get fry done, but we did not get cooked done yet. We have burnt, but we need to get cooked so we can get sizzled. And we did get gnome done, so that's good. So we can pick up our gnome, but we still need to wait for dawnbound, which is going to take a couple more hours. Of course, we need aromatic from our spaghetti sloth, and then we still need to get oil. I think we still need both molten and meteoric. We need void touched, and then again, we just need cooked. So we didn't get a lot of stuff done. I'm even double checking through here, and we still need a lot. So we at least got 2 more pets done. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 mega spinosauruses to start getting stuff moved over to our multi-trap. But yeah, we're struggling a bit. We have a lot of mutations we still need to get, and we have not gotten within the last hour. I expected more progress, but hey man, I guess the one good thing is the gnome merchant's back, so more crates for our gnome pet to give us the gnome mutation in the future. But hopefully we can get the rest of these done. Oh, actually, it looks like we did get meteoric done up there on a sugar apple, but I don't see molten anywhere. Oh, we did get molten done. Okay, so we're a little bit further ahead than I thought. Okay, that's good. So we can actually pick up our lobster. I'm just dumb, I didn't see those. And we could spawn in another spino. All right, so this looks kind of crazy. We're literally getting a sandstorm and a sun god event at the same exact time. So it's very bright and hurting my eyes. But so on our multi-trap here, we did get everything moved over with our spinosauruses, and we finally just got dawnbound done. The toy actually boosted my mooncat with a dawnbound mutation by about an hour, so I saved about an hour of waiting, which is really useful. But anyways, as you can see here, our multi-trap has a bunch of mutations on here. We have 37 mutations total, and the only thing I can tell you that I noticed is that Verdant did not become Paradisal. We did not get Paradisal today, which is a little annoying because, you know, usually we get Paradisal, but there's just not been a heat wave event all day. And the other thing that has been a pain was that we sat here for hours with a cooked owl, and we got burnt and fried multiple times, but we never got cooked, which means we never got these sizzled mutations. So that's kind of out of the picture. But with 37 mutations, if we actually separate some of these like spaghetti, we'd be at about 39 mutations. Harmonized chocolate would bring us to about 40, abyssal 41, gloom 42, infernal would bring us to about I want to say 45, ceramic would bring us to about 47, storm charged about 49, and I believe that's everything separated. So about 49 mutations total on this multi-trap, which is pretty good considering we didn't have any admin events today. And this thing I'm hoping is worth a lot of money, so we're gonna go ahead and grab a magnifying glass and throw it in our hotbar here. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the value of this multi-trap with all of these mutations, and hopefully it's worth it. And then after, we'll try to get the amber mutation on it and see if it bumps up at all. But let's go ahead and check the value on 3, 2, 1. So this multi-trap is worth 2.2 trillion, which is actually very, very good. And surprisingly, if you didn't watch my last video, the Crimson Thorn video, you might want to go watch that before I spoil what I say. But in the Crimson Thorn video, that thing is actually the best valued fruit in the game, and it was worth less. And I think that's only because we didn't get the rainbow mutation on that, because we had gold instead of rainbow. So rainbow really does help, and it got our multi-trap up to 2.2 trillion, which is very good. Now I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my raptors here, and we're going to see if we can get the amber mutation, but I don't know if we'll be able to. It's a hit or miss with these guys, so let's just go ahead and try. All right, we have some raptors boosted. Let's go ahead and try to pick up our multi-trap and see if we get amber applied. Oh, look at that. We actually did get amber applied. So we're going to try to check the value with Steven now to see if it went up any at all. So it's 2.2 trillion. How much is it now? 2.3 trillion. So they did fix amber, making it worth less, and it did bump us up about another 80 million, I think that was. So yeah, that actually helped getting amber on it. So yeah, we did reach about 50 mutations total on this thing, and that is our multi-trap. This thing has so many mutations, and it's going to join our collection here with all these other multiple mutated fruits that we have. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, drop a like, comment down below what you want to see next, or if you want to see me try some new games like Plants vs. Brain Rots, because that is made by Jandel, and it might be interesting for me to try that out. Also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.